Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
I didn't realize that I didn't put the background music on. Damn. Dispensa. Pew, 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 pew. All right, well, whoever's here, good to have you. Saludos. Oh, what's up, bro? Hold on a second. Let me see. Oh, no, I already responded to that idiot. What's up, sis?
¡Viva México, cabrones!
Hold on. Good to have you here. Experto! What up, bro? That's right. Hermano de Juda, Mexicas, and other boy brothers too. Saludos! That's right. Yeah, we see you. Okay, cool. What up, Brown Ray? Good to have you here, brother. Yeah, apparently I didn't play music. I mean, I did play it, but I didn't realize it wasn't, like you couldn't hear it. I wouldn't assume you guys would be like, hey, there's no music, because you don't know what's going on. So it's all good. It's all good. Hey, I would have had something very interesting for you guys, man, but I didn't realize that my phone, when you record the screen, right? I didn't realize that you have to, man, I don't know why. You have to put the sound on, I guess. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I went to this thing here, right? Now, this is one of the second parts of the video. The first one was 45, I think, minutes. And somebody called, and it always disconnects it. So then I went, and then obviously I sent them the voicemail, and I came back, and I got to record this. But here's what sucks. You can't hear anything. But the point being is on why I'm bringing this up, right? So this guy in here is showing up, right? First, everybody was like kind of going at it with me and shit. And, they're honestly, I was just, shaking their spirit very easy, because I asked direct questions and they're not used to that. Showing up, comes in, tries to calm everybody down. So I noticed a pattern. This is my second time going to this app, right? And I noticed a pattern, family. I noticed a pattern. They have a way of, let's say, for example, if they lose control of the topic, or, you're speaking, let's say, more boldly than they are, right? And their spirit starts shaking. They go and resort to what I've noticed from almost so far, what I've noticed from them, and I kept listening to them. They go to a verse with the intent to then isolate you on something that a word may say in that verse. they've tried that with me twice. And it doesn't take a brainiac to figure the patterns of people. If you are into this understanding of this great book of ours, you would know that discernment is part of the gift of wisdom that the Most High allows you to have, which means you understand and you start noticing how, because if you understand your mind, right, clearly, then you would understand other people's minds as well. So twice this happened. They always hold you to a word, and then it's kind of interesting that they make fun of it. They joke around and they think it's funny, but I'm like, in reality, maybe in your echo chamber, you may feel like it's good, but quite frankly, it's really not. Because, and again, I wish I would have recorded this call, because it went 33 minutes on this one and 44 on the other one. Okay, and look, they muted me, right? And I'm like, man, so I kept asking them, when did they get smallpox, right? I'm going with the very first question. We can move on to the rest of them, because that's in the verse 20th verses, right? Pretty standard. So what I do notice also is they get into this attack mode. They claim that they're going to let you finish. They obviously don't let you finish. And then as you're watching this stuff here on the bottom, man, if you disagree with them, all of a sudden you're a conquistador. You're of another nation. You get what I'm saying? So that's the interesting part. Now, they keep saying that, and all of a sudden, I forget what I said. And somebody got offended. Oh, I'm not going to have you use homonyms here. Everybody has to be, respectful and all. Really? You guys were basically calling me conquistador, which was no different than what I had said. I don't remember what I said. I don't even think it was a big freaking deal. Okay, so this is my second time in this app. Now, I'm going to tell you something, family. I need you to go to this app yourself. Okay? I need you to go to this app and hold on a second. Yeah, there you go. And sign up here. Okay? I would like for us to get a room going, as they call them rooms, okay? They call these things rooms. Oh, let me close this up. I don't need this no more. Damn, what's going on with my shit, man? Gee. What I pay you for this for? Damn service. Huh, interesting. Anyways, so this is Clubhouse, and this is where I was trying to record my conversation. I wish I would have recorded it, and you would have seen a back and forth. And again, I don't want to say, oh, let me talk about my point of view. That's why I was like, man, I wanted this, they're muting me again. So I wish I would have had the recording so then I could share it with y'all. So, you know what I mean? You decide what things and how things went. You guys know me, man. I don't joke around with these things. He goes in and asks me, I do record, and he says, verse 22, right? So then we go into it. No big deal. Now, I'm on this app, and I'm still new to this app. I haven't really used it much. Last time, before the 44 minutes, right? I was bringing out a book, so I felt like I got off the app to get my page, and then all of a sudden I come back and I'm no longer in the the conversations group, right? So then obviously, man, I stuck around and I finally went back there. Now we start off with Deuteronomy 28. Hold on a second. Deuteronomy 28:22. And we read, they read it. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption and with a fever and with inflammation and with extreme burning and with the sword. So he's like, what does the sword mean? And I'm like, well, he goes, sword and blasting. What does the sword and blasting mean? I go, well, I mean, like what it says, sword and blasting. You know what I'm saying? Swords and explosives, they had, they knew about powder already. You know what I'm saying? Like gunpowder. Gunpowder is not new to this, like to them. They've had it in, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't you think they were shooting cannons at each other and shit, man? You know what I mean? So then he tells me that the word sword is not true. That's not what it means. And again, if you just got here, I wish I would have recorded the sound. I didn't. That's my bad. Oh, man, I could have just done this. That's my bad, family. But look, this Clubhouse, by the way, before I forget the point. God, I'm jumping back and forth. Before I forget the point, join this group. Okay? And look for my name there. That's the name. Look for that. Okay? Look for that right there. and let's see if we can get a room going. Because the interesting part about this was that somebody else jumped on, and obviously, I don't know what he believed in, maybe a Muslim, but he was talking about how they just, they don't let people finish when their point is being challenged, like sincerely challenged. They don't let you finish. And this is what occurred. So again, I want you guys to jump on this app because it's
July schools to repent.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on, what?
Or neutral.
What?
What?
What the hell? Wait, hold on.
I mean,
Oh, let's listen in, okay? Let's go.
oh, we weak? Explain to us what the blasting is in the chat. Explain from there. Fight back, ski mask. Fight back.
It's, by the way, they don't invite me up until later, right? By this time, I got to be going, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. They knock me off, and then they, I'm posting stuff, right? So just pay attention to this. This is interesting.
It's a pocket knife, yo.
Yo, it's a
That the
pocket.
sword is
It's
the
talking about the pocket knife, yo.
pocket knife, bro.
Come on, dog. Hey, read Deuteronomy
Yo,
28:22, and again, we're gonna read down through context, and we're gonna see what the hell it's talking about. Hey, listen, Northern Kingdom. Y'all need to just bend the knee. You will learn from Judah. If you just bend the knee, we'll teach you, and then you could be almost as powerful as us when we teach. Almost.
That you see that, family? I want you to say that shit for the people in the back, because at the end of the day, this is all it's about, family. Black or white supremacy. That's all it's about, fam. And you see, this is why you allow people to talk, man, and then eventually they show who they are. This is their only interest. I'm gonna tell you this right now, fam. Just because I may know more than you doesn't make me like some superiority concept or some, I don't know, position that you have to bow down to me because I fucking know more than you, or because I was woken up before y'all were. You know what I'm saying? What kind of shit is that in the Bible, fam? When you see this right here, this is no love for no brother. I'll tell you this right now. This is no different than white supremacy, family. Pay attention, man.
knife, bro.
Come on, dog. Hey, read Deuteronomy 28:22, and again, we're gonna read down through context, and we're gonna see what the hell it's talking about. Hey, listen, Northern Kingdom. Y'all need to just bend the knee. You will learn from Judah. If you just bend the knee, we'll teach you, and then you could be almost as powerful as us when we teach. Almost, not quite, but almost as powerful. Deuteronomy 28, read verse 22.
Verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with a sword.
You know what? I should ask him what this extreme burning is. 'Cause I know for a fact you don't know what that is either. You know what I mean? So now he's gonna be
Bullet.
smacked, right?
You see this right here? Whoever they think they are ain't waking up shit. You see, family, not even Christian people who are confused as well talk like that. You let me know what is so brotherly about this. It's like as if I make fun of all will be revealed because he doesn't see the scriptures the way I see them. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand the spirit behind it? This is nothing to do about, I'm not here to tell you to hate people. I am proving a point, family. We already been through white Christianity. Now we're going to have to deal with this shit here. This is not a surprise to me, to many brothers that have been watching this channel since 2022. It's just not a surprise. If you just sit back and listen to the way they talk to you, how can a man talk to another man, or even in that demeanor, family? You understand what I'm saying? Let's say you're 30, 40. How can you let some kid tell you that? Let's continue. I'm actually glad that I guess at this point I was booted off. That's right. So it couldn't record. Oh, I see. So I guess since I was booted off, it couldn't record me. So next time, now I know I have to turn on the mic on my end so it can hear both things. I'm gonna try to check the videos. Nah, I was off the whole time. Let's go.
It got to be the
Black.
bullet. It's the burning bullet. It said with extreme burning and with the sword. So how does it go from different sicknesses and all of that, then all of a sudden it jumped to, from what he said, a literal sword?
Look at the warrior angel. Black supremacy sounds like a plan to me. Now I don't know which way he means it by. I mean, let's be honest, family. What the fuck is you talking about supremacy, man? So even your own brethren, because supposedly you're Judah, you're gonna suppress them too because they are less than you? Seriously. I don't know what the hell you guys call this shit, man. This is nothing of the Bible, family. Because here they try to appear as if, oh, you know, you're my brother, but then at the same time with a very indirect and like tonality of condescending shit. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't nothing compared to me. You can sense it when the words come out of their mouth. Like, just continue, man. Let's continue.
Contextually, it tells us what the sword is. Read on.
And with blasting,
Uh-huh.
and with mildew,
So the first part talking about sicknesses, then when it says sword, blasting, and mildew, that's going to our crops. We just read the scripture. We're going to read it again, though. Read on.
and they shall pursue thee until thou,
Read.
and thy heaven that is over thy head shall.
That shit earlier, he says, I got proof, I got cut. What do you mean? The dude didn't even let me read the proof. Right? So, for example, family, when these idiots go out there and teach in camps, they bring pictures, they bring books, right? Right? Don't they do that? They have books there. You have a person that's supposedly whipped in the back. So now they're telling me to read the verses. We read the verses. Okay, let me give you the material where it comes from. Now he wants to change subjects, fam. Now he wants to get stuck on, oh, what does the word mean? What does the sword mean? I already answered you. But the context is smallpox. You see what I'm saying? Listen, family, I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't want this to fucking feel superior than other nations. Now, do I want the Most High to do his thing in order for our people to be built? Hell yeah, but I am not interested in that type of power, man. All I care about is doing the right thing, making sure that I'm keeping the commandments as best as I can. Because there's no guarantee. None of these idiots are guaranteed salvation. To talk like this, it just blows my mind. And it should open up your fucking minds before you go into these stupid rooms, or even if you're listening to this channel for the first time or second or third time and you're still stuck. How can you let a man to men talk, how can you let a man tell you to bow down the fucking knee if you were born to be a warrior? Let me answer that. Huh? Are you out of your fucking mind? What are you sick? Are you sick in the head? You don't have the spirit of our creator? You don't have our father's business? Are you kidding me? When did he say to bow down the knee to each tribe? Last time that happened, they were destroyed.
And with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword.
You know what? I should ask him what this extreme burning is. 'Cause I know for a fact he don't know what that is either. You know what I mean? So now he's going to be
Bullet.
smacked. Right. It got to be the
Black.
bullet. It's the burning bullet. It said with extreme burning and with the sword. So
You see what I'm saying, family? And they're laughing, right? Like they're laughing at it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know if you guys hear me here laughing at people after the look they got. I mean, what's the point of that? Seriously. And then what about people that are supposedly trying to understand the scriptures? And they see that you want superiority. You want that, whatever that is, whatever you want what the white man has. Charles Manson said the same thing. I'll be real. I think you sent me that video, man, or somebody did. Charles Manson said they're just like white people. They want what white people want. You see what I mean? It doesn't take an astronaut to figure that out, family. It does not. Look. Joshua behaves like an Edomite, and he is emotionally damaged. All right. If you guys would hear the recording, you could decide that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna speak on it because I hate to talk about only my side of the story. Okay? I wish I would have had the recording. Then it says, Nigga said, if you learn from Judah, nigga, you're not from the tribe of Judah or any tribe, you are Gentile. Oh, so this guy's the one that talks to him after, right? So we're gonna listen to that because he's gonna say some things very shortly, right? About like my situation with them. Let's go.
How does it go from different sicknesses and all of that, and all of a sudden it jumped to, from what he said, a literal sword? Contextually, it tells us what the sword is. Read on.
and with blasting,
Uh-huh.
and with mildew,
So the first part talking about sicknesses, then when it says sword, blasting, and mildew, that's going to our crops. We just read the scripture. We're gonna read it again though. Read on.
and they shall pursue thee until thou.
Part I was trying to get to. Okay, it is okay, bro. He says he got proof but got cut. Yeah, I got literally like interrupted. I had the book in my hand because you know what I do, family. I read scriptures and I read a book. I had the book in my hand. I'm like, okay, page. Here's the title and here's the page. Page 56. I'm like, man, let me. I'm telling you, I wish I would have had the recording. Let's go.
Read.
And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee.
That right there. Black is supreme. Okay. When are y'all gonna listen, man? When are you guys gonna listen? I gave him Zechariah 14:21. You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, if their echo chamber makes them feel good, it's all good, family, because I'm sitting here right now. I could have sit here and told you how the conversation went and it was to my favor. I don't do that shit. I'm gonna get a chance to do that again. And next time I know now how to record it. Zechariah 14:21, yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto the Lord of hosts. And all day that sacrifice shall come and take of them and seated therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of hosts. That's what it is. What is the difference between a pastor in secrecy wanting superiority? These people are just telling you in your face, in your face. And you stupid paisans go and believe this shit. Continue. I think the guy's going to jump on soon.
Shall be iron.
What that part mean about your heaven being brass and your earth being the earth being iron? If these are, because the way that you explain that, conquistador, right? The way that you explain that conquistador.
See, family? Conquistador. You see what I'm saying? If you don't agree with them, even though I read to them all like the black, okay, I had the book open. I was on page 56 and I literally read to them, okay? On page 59, I had a chance to. They were talking, but I was like, oh, and then that's right, they muted me. I go, life patterns of some black conquistadors: Juan Garrido, Sebastián Toral, Pedro Folupo, Juan Bardales, Antonio Perez, Juan Portugués, Juan Garcia. Then I got muted. Miguel Ruiz, and then Juan Valiente, and I think I muted myself at that moment, and Juan Beltran. So I named a few, and then I said, listen, man, you guys came with them, hundreds of you guys. At every moment, you guys had slaves since 14. I don't know, matter of fact, I didn't get to say that because you were just talking about smallpox, but I just had a chance to read this because they didn't even let me read page 56. I'm not kidding, family. I mean, they did for a little moment. I read the part where it said, Valiente and Garrido were typical of black conquistadors in a number of ways. They both appear to have been African-born. Only a minority of blacks in the conquest were born in Spain and Portugal. And only much later in the conquest were the 3 American-born black soldiers. I skipped down. Another first attributed to an African in Mexico was bringing smallpox to the mainland. Francisco de Aguilera, one of the black slaves in Narvaez expedition of 1520, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, at this point, then you can basically say, they didn't let me speak anymore. They keep bringing up this. Listen, they keep talking about what supposedly he got me on. And I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's move forward. I understand the story now. Okay, the blast. Okay, let's move on. Let's prove these things. When did you guys get smallpox here in America? And when did you decimate to the point where there were carcasses on the floor, where the fucking beasts were eating you up? When did that happen? Right? But here he still focuses on a word. So I'll tell you again, family, their psychology on how to get control of the lost control, right? They go to a verse, whatever verse they can remember, and then they try to isolate you on a word. They'll ask you if you know what it means. And if you may not answer it the way they want to hear it, I'm telling you, it's the same pattern. It's happened twice already. And you know me, fam. You know me. I pay attention to the way people speak and how they think. Let's continue.
So your explanation, it separates all three of these verses, in which all three of them are talking about the same thing: sicknesses in your crops.
Here, look. You live with Dio and Dia. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? You don't see me saying anything like innuendos, right? Like we all live in one house. You see what I'm saying? That's an innuendo right there. Assuming because I'm raza that I live with my whole family. Do you understand what it means, family? You need to wake up and pay attention. And if you're here and you watch it and you get emotional, I'm glad you get emotional. Let's go.
So now when you get to verse 23, it says about the heaven being brass and the earth being iron. I mean, what that talking about? Read on.
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed.
So according to him, cannons and gunfire is going to be coming from heaven to destroy the Israelites from off of their land.
I never said that, family. I never, ever even said that. I never even said this. Let's go.
If these are, because the way that you explain that, conquistador, right? The way that you explain that, conquistador, your explanation, it separates all three of these verses, in which all three of them are talking about the same thing: sicknesses in your crops. So now when you get to verse 23, it says about the heaven being brass and the earth being iron. I mean, what that talking about? Read on.
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed.
So according to him, cannons and gunfire is going to be coming from heaven to destroy the Israelites from off of their land.
Let the Most High strike me, family, if I'm lying to y'all. I never said that shit. And you know what the funny part was? The point was the smallpox. Show me when that shit happened to you guys. We go to the verse, and I'm like, when did this happen to you? And he wants to talk about the meaning of words. The meaning of words, even though in context, like he says, right? It's about smallpox. But again, look, remember the scripture. I can't. What's this? There's a scripture in Sirach that talks about if you pay attention with a man and he's excessively like laughing and shit, then you know the type of spirit he's dealing with. And this is what it sounds like to me. Let's go.
What? What? What's wrong with you? What word? The
He
whole
said them
context,
bugs.
the whole context of all three of those verses that you use is just wrong. It's just wrong. Now see,
I see. Look, Warrior Angel, it says at leadership, little pocket knife is going crazy in the chat. You see that? This is Israelite supremacy. Get your terminology right. Deuteronomy 6:7. You see, boy. You see that shit? This is funny, man. Like this is funny, bro. If you're a true leader, true leaders don't even talk like, they don't even think like this, bro, at all. And I'm going to tell you, family, I played sports at a high level, soccer and boxing at a high level. I could have gone. My two brothers could have played professional soccer in Mexico. That's where we were from. My brother Jaime also tried out for San Diego Sockers. And I got to play with Guadalajara, and I played at a high level, man. And I'm telling you, more likely I could have made it. Okay, so I'm not envious of people's athletic ability or strength or power. Nah, man, not at all, not at all. That never bothered me. I trained, I boxed, I sparred. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit mattered. What color you were, it didn't matter to me. A true leader doesn't even carry themselves like this, man. Because you want to know something, family? If I talk like this, as a matter of fact, I'm too afraid to talk like this because there's no guarantee that I'll make it. You know what I mean? All of these idiots, what is the guarantee that they're going to make it? You know what I mean? To me, it baffled me. And that's why I keep saying Canaanite spirit, man. Let's go.
so D Jackson said you'll never catch these mods outside this room. I mean, we go to camps and fly missions every day. I mean, if you want to catch me outside, I'm always outside. You know, you come down to Alabama, you can find me in Montgomery. If you want to come to the camp that I'm at, have fun.
You see now, you see how the emotions grew now? The guy goes, you guys don't go out in the street and debate. He's not talking about fighting. He's talking about like debating because he jumps on, right? But you see how this guy just kind of took it that way. I'm telling you, family, The beast speaks for itself, man. Let's go.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, it's not gonna go the way that you expect it to go. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you up front. I'll give you warning up front. It's not gonna go the way that you're gonna think it's going. You're gonna want it to be one way, but I can guarantee you right now that it's the other way. You know what I'm saying? He said, catch me in a room on Clubhouse. Y'all niggas sit behind computers. You know what I mean? Catch you in a room in Clubhouse. I'm not in Alabama. You ain't gotta be in Alabama.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I wish I had the recording, family. Now I know how to record it. And this is why you guys got to jump on this app. Clubhouse, get it, find my name. I want to create a room with y'all. We can talk more flex like this flex, not me teaching class or anything. Now we can talk, fam. We can create a room and talk. You know what I mean? It's not me running a class. I'm going to be a moderator. I have a couple other people to be moderators. You don't know that are level-headed, right? To make sure that they don't go all supremacists and shit. I want to create a room around these people. And let's see if they step out their actual, echo chamber. Because I don't believe you guys should be afraid of bringing the truth, because this is not about emotional shit. This is not about emotional shit. Okay? The facts are the facts, and if they don't like it, or if you don't like it, then you know what I'm saying? That's your problem. You want to believe in what you want to believe in what they want to believe. I'm not here to tell you not to, bro. Maybe you are a Canaanite. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. And it's just in your spirit. You want to go back to what you used to be. By all means, please do. But as for me, I'm contrary, mon frere. Isaiah 62:1 says, for Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace. And for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest until the righteous thereof go forth as brightness, and salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in any type of supremacy whatsoever. At all, whatsoever. You guys are more than welcome to have it. I'm not stopping you. Let's go.
I've
You
been
don't
all
even
throughout the
show the
United
face.
States. I've been all
You
throughout the
don't even
United
show
States
the
teaching. You know what I mean? Something, nah, dog, catch me in a Clubhouse room. Y'all niggas soft.
face.
Y'all niggas soft. So you never. He just said they'll never
See, this
catch
the
us
thing. You
outside
ain't
this
gonna never.
room.
What I'm saying is,
He
you on
said you
Clubhouse
ain't
right now.
you
What
ain't
you
gonna you
mean?
ain't gonna you
I'm
ain't gonna
saying you
never.
never gonna go. You
Yeah,
never.
cause it's just one.
They let him on. So listen to what he says, and then we'll move on, because I'm not going to listen to everything, right? Probably another maybe 5-6 minutes, and that's it. But in reality, man, it's like, oh, that's right. I remember at the end of our conversation, because you know how I talk, fam. Like I don't, and with you brothers that talk to me over the phone, you know that I speak this way. I don't like fake it. You know what I'm saying? So then at the end, he's like, basically assuming, you're probably an Edomite. That's what it resorts to. Why? Because I didn't bow down the knee. All of a sudden now I'm not. Is a car? Is that what it is? Let's listen to this guy. Look what he says, and then we'll move on.
One aspect of our ministry. This is not
Exactly.
all
Yeah, he
we
already
do.
muted me
We
up.
we go out.
You're
We
a coward,
this
bro.
not this not our only
You're a coward,
ministry.
bro. Your Bible weak
This
and
just
trash.
one
I'll kill
aspect.
you, bro.
I just told you come to Alabama. If you want to come to my camp, come to Alabama. You can.
That guy right there, George. What the white color in Mexican flag stand for? You see what I'm saying? He doesn't even know. But then why ask him? Why even answer him?
You see me all the time. I'm at camp every week. I'm out there. If you want to come talk to me at camp, just come to Alabama. I also
So, so,
travel throughout the United
so what
States.
you
If
saying
you
is,
ever,
so
so
hold
from
on. So
what you
what you
said, hold
saying is,
on, no, you hold on, you hold on. I'm on Clubhouse as an additional ministry. This is not the only thing we do. You said if I want to talk to you, come to the Clubhouse room. Man, bring your black ass outside. What's that?
Look at that. Black supremacy is what the Most High is going to restore. I remember some people coming at one point telling us how it was right to be white. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. Remember how it used to be? It was right to be white, not light skin and look like this, like me, or dark skin and look like me. No, none of that stuff. Look like them. That's what's righteous. Remember, white folks came with that concept. It wasn't the white skin or light skin. We have documentation that we were light skinned at some points. I may get a chance to show you a book that I found recently. Okay? It has nothing to do with it. No, because we were dark skinned. No. It's about how they look. Their supremacy is about how they look, fam. They try to tell me that Israel was part of Africa. And I'm like, how so? Well, who was there? Ham, right? He was kind of leaning, like I already knew he was going there. So I'm like, yeah, but that's not the land of Ham. What do you mean? Canaan was there. Yeah, but he fucking stole that shit. And he wasn't supposed to be there. If you guys understand, after Phaleg, right, all the nations split. You guys had to go east. Japheth had to go north. Shem had to stay there. But Canaan didn't like it, didn't stay there. Now, I know you guys probably don't like Jubilees, but in Jubilees, it clearly explains it. He starts laughing. Again, I wish I would have recorded it. So I'm like, okay, Ham is Mizraim, Cush, Put, and Canaan. From East Africa all the way to West Africa. You see, family, that's why they don't want Canaan to be in West Africa, because that's where they are all from. Let's go.
On your mama couch. If you want to see me come outside, it's gonna go the complete opposite way than you think it's gonna go. Y'all Christians like.
No,
Everybody know biblical
no,
smoke
he
mods are
can't
the
even show
weakest
his
mods on
face.
this app.
He
Y'all
won't even
terrified
show
to
his
step out.
face. You got a toy as your
Look,
face, bro. Like what?
niggas still mute me up. Niggas is
That's,
cowards, bro. Y'all not coming outside these rooms, bro. Y'all hide behind that green bean. Y'all not gonna let a nigga speak. Y'all not gonna let a nigga make no point. And you gonna put him in when he start cooking.
I raised my hand, okay? I raised my hand, fam. I raised my hand. And I think until like over here, they basically try to let me in. By that time, I'm out. So let's continue for a little bit again.
Come in here then. They just don't come.
I'm just saying, I really wish one of you cowards would come outside these rooms and have a real build. Like I
No,
would
we
challenge
don't.
anybody on stage. How about this? Any mod on stage, we can have a debate right
This is
now.
what I'm gonna tell you. This is the reason why we don't leave the room. I'm gonna
Cause
tell
you,
you why
cause
we
you,
don't
cause
leave
you,
the
cause
room.
you're not gonna debate with a nigga when you don't got that mod.
I'm gonna
When
tell you
you
why.
don't got that badge, you're not debating, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. We used to do it when we first started, but we realized it was unprofitable. So we don't do it. There's no profit in me debating you, right? I think in this room, we got like 80,000 people who follow this room. If I go to your room, it's going to be 10 people in there. Everybody else is going to be from this room. That's going to make your room bigger. So it makes no sense to go to a small room to talk to you. This is the bigger room. So
That's some cop out.
What he's talking about, fam, is that none of these people in that little echo chamber will go to other rooms to debate people. They all stay in their circle. That's what he's talking about. He doesn't really understand that these people don't do that. And obviously it's for a reason, family, because when you start literally breaking down, like in context, you know what I'm saying? You get a chance, I get a chance. Then you start seeing the holes in their BS. I till this day, I wasn't able to get the answer. When did you guys get smallpox here? Like seriously, I didn't get the answer. Okay, let's continue a few more minutes, and I got something to show you.
Protection,
like
bro. Miss me with all
what
that
am I
weak.
gonna what am I gonna win by debating?
Listen. This the
Like
thing.
just
This is
keep
what
it
y'all
real.
want to do.
Just
Hold
like
on.
I'm being cool. I'm being cool. Look, what
Okay,
do
you
I
gonna let me speak?
gain? What do I gain by debating you?
Okay, so you gonna let me respond to that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I come in these rooms every time I come in biblical smoke. This is what y'all do. Y'all have a person on stage. You overtalk them. See, you invite Christians on stage like you want to have actual debates. See, that's what's cowardly. Like you sit up here and say it's not profitable for you to have a bill, but who invited me on stage? I didn't request to come on here. Y'all stay trying to beg niggas to come on stage, but when they come on stage and start cutting up y'all weak doctrine, you mute them up, you overmod them, and you kick them into the audience. You're never going to actually go and have a build with somebody in a place where there's neutral moderation, where you can't control the narrative, you can't control the conversation, and get beat up in your doctrine. You're not going to let that happen.
Boom. The brother was listening. Well, I'll call him a brother for now. He was listening the whole time. I don't know if he's a Christian or Muslim, but he was listening the whole time. And he's like, when you start getting caught up, man, you start muting him, you start interrupting, then you put him out. Because they booted me out before, fam. I tell you, I recorded 44 minutes prior to this 33. And they put me out. So he was listening. Let's go back a little bit, man. Shit, at least somebody can testify a little bit.
Everybody else is going to be from this room. That's going to make your room bigger. So it makes no sense to go to a small room to talk to you. This is the bigger room.
That's some cop out protection, bro. Miss me with all that weak.
What am I gonna win by debating?
Listen. This the thing.
Just
This is
keep
what
it
y'all
real.
want to do. Hold on.
I'm being cool. I'm being cool. Look, what
Okay,
do
you
I
gonna let me speak?
gain? What do I gain by debating you?
Okay, so you gonna let me respond to that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I come in these rooms every time I come in biblical smoke. This is what y'all do. Y'all have a person on stage. You overtalk them. See, you invite Christians on stage like you want to have actual debates. See, that's what's cowardly about. You sit up here and say it's not profitable for you to have a bill, but who invited me on stage? I didn't request to come on here. Y'all stay trying to beg niggas to come on stage, but when they come on stage and start cutting up y'all weak doctrine, you mute them up, you overmod them, and you kick them into the audience. You're never going to actually go and have a build with somebody in a place where there's neutral moderation, where you can't control the narrative, you can't control the conversation, and get beat up in your doctrine. You're not going to let that happen. Because
Where
hold on, I'm about to land. In the
let
eyes
me
of
just
the
ask you before
people
we
that follow
leave it.
y'all, y'all superheroes, and
Where
y'all
can I
can't allow
go?
them to say, huh?
Where can I go for a neutral moderation?
I can tell you like this. My people,
No, no, seriously, seriously,
I would
seriously.
tell you, okay,
If I
I
go to
have
your
Hebrew.
room,
Okay, hold on. It
if
don't
I
have to
go
be my room. It can be a
if I
public
go
room.
to your room,
Uh-huh.
we went.
That's as far as I want to show you, and that's technically at least confirmation. He was about to say about you don't even let him like speak, and say what room. This is not uncommon, family, and this is not like a surprise anymore. First of all, when you think that you're so sure, you know what I mean. Like if you use these scriptures against your brethren to destroy his spirit on purpose, to make him feel that you are superior than him. Listen, he said something like to the effect like that. And I said, man, Satan knows the Bible too, bro. What are you talking about? 2 Corinthians 11:11 says this. Do I say this because I don't love you? God knows I love you. I will go on doing what I am doing now in order to keep those other apostles from having any reason for boasting and saying that they work in the same way that we do. Those men are not true apostles. They are false apostles who lie about their work and disguise themselves to look like the real apostles of the Meshiach. Well, no wonder even Satan can disguise himself to look like an angel. You see what I mean? Those men are not true apostles. Why is this important? They are false apostles. You know what? There's something in Deuteronomy 18 that talks about how do you know when somebody is not a true messenger. Deuteronomy 18:20. But if any prophet dares to speak a message in my name, when I did not command him to do so, he must die for it, and so must any prophet who speaks in the name of other gods, meaning of his understanding. Because obviously he didn't send him. So they're talking about another God, family, okay? You may wonder, how can you tell when a prophet message does not come from the Lord? Verse 22, if a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord and what he says does not come true, then it is not the Lord's message. Do you understand what that means? Do you guys know that this BHI root, because that's what it is, right? This BHI root literally said that the end of the world was going to be in 2000. That's what they said. That's exactly what they said. If you look at some of these videos, I've showed you guys some of these videos in the past. Seriously, they came with a doctrine. Every single one of these camps came from that root. They were teaching that the end of the world was in 2000. That's what they taught. So what did the scriptures talk about when they say, hey, man, some prophet's going to come here and try to tell you some BS? Don't believe it. Why not? Why should I not? Because technically, if that don't come true, then it wasn't never true. Let me show you a video. Because this is all about Masonic black magic, man. You guys think this is funny. It's not. This is about your spirit. Listen in.
tell you something, black man, you better watch these stinking Africans, man. And they know you not the same people.
So where does all this anti-African rhetoric come from? Because their forefathers identified themselves as Ethiopian Hebrews. 1936 letter. So here's a 1936 letterhead, the Royal Order of Ethiopian Hebrews. So let's go to the next slide. They can't say I'm making it up. So here we see is a membership card of the Royal Order of Ethiopian Hebrews, SNDOC, 30 West 129th Street, Rabbi W.A. Matthew. Because this is the guy who's the father of this community that we see today. Very important stuff when you're doing research. Don't find out who these people are. Let's go to the next slide. Wow, here we go with a death certificate. When this man died, the father of the Hebrew groups that say they are anti-African, God doesn't love Africans, where on the death certificate does it tell us that the creator of this doctrine came from? Stinky old African. He comes from Lagos, Nigeria. Let's look at it. Rabbi, right? This is his death certificate. Whitworth, Matthews. This is the guy. This is your creator of your Israelite movement that hates Africans, who was part of the Ethiopian Hebrews. But they hate Africans, though. How do you hate Africans?
Remember the video I showed you where this guy, Rabbi Matthews, right? He was using incantations. Remember I showed you guys that? Let's see if I can show you the file real quick. Let me see. Yep, it's right here. Here, right here. Okay, that's Rabbi Matthews. That's the root. That's where it comes from, okay? I showed you the video about that dude that was talking about that. This is the incantations that he's talking about. See, Rabbi Matthews, right, used Lawrence writings to create magical rituals in a Hebraic creed that allowed him to be filled with the God Spirit. This was the, what's the book called? Hold on. I have the book. Give me a second. Was taking some notes on it yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago. Give me a second here. It was called, no, that's not it. Talk of Drew. Makes sense. More white smallpox. Preview. English King. No, that's not it. Hebrew Talmud. No, that's not it. God, where is it at? I was looking through a bunch of things. I pushed it down. It's regarding Moses. I believe it's called. Let me try to say it. Let me try to see it. Newton, nope. He's prophetic, nope. Humble, nope. No. No, tribute, no. Columbia tradition, no. The Mexican. Let me look through it real quick. If not, I'm gonna move on. No. Do not tampoco. Shit, where'd I put it? No, not that one. Indian, no. No, I got a bunch of material, family. My bad. Hold on. Let's see. Moses, I think. Let me see if it's this one. Anyways, in this book, it talks about. I have to look through it. And I saw it. To be honest, I really did see it, man. So I'll see if I can remember it before we end. And in that book, it actually does show these writings here. Okay, so this is Rabbi Matthews that we just saw right there. That's the root of where these guys come from. Whether you like it or not, that's the root. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to convince you. You gotta see it and read it and find out yourself. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: all roads leads to these people right here. Rabbi Matthews used the Lawrence writing to create magical rituals, and a Hebraic creed that allowed him to be filled with God's Spirit. Matthews based what he called his Kabbalistic science on the most popular in Lawrence books, the 6th and 7th book of Moses. You see that? A manual of magic that claims to divulge the Kabbalistic secrets of the ancient Hebrews. Yeah, I'm telling you, family, I was It has incantations, and I just kind of scan through the shit that it says. I don't even pronounce those words. 'Cause I don't know what it brings. So, you know what I mean? I'm staying out of that. But I saw the actual signs. The work purports to be a collection of ancient Hebraic sacred text diagrams, incantations, and prayers attributed to the Moses or the biblical patriarchs. See, right here. It has to do with Hermeticism, right? Egyptian mysticism, right? It's a combination of all of these things with Pan-Africanism, basically. You see, this is the diagram here that he drew. See, W.A. Matthews, right? Black culture. This is them right here. I mean, I don't understand how much more I'd need to explain these things to you, family. If you're in these rooms, bro, you need to look at the root of where it comes from. Your root. If the head is sick, the whole body is destroyed. To amulet shed light on Matthew's esoteric theology, part of the secret knowledge of the heart of his black Israelite belief. You see? A ver, güey, es que alguien me expliquen, güey. Que alguien me explique, güey. Hey, what's up, Yahweh? How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? Get out of here. Let me see if I can. Man, I need to get that. I need to see if I have. I think I have it in the in links. I gotta see, man. Now I'm curious. Mm-hmm. Give me a second. Oh, this is it right here. That's right. It's right here. It's called. Excuse me. I'm gonna take a picture so you guys can see it. Hold on. Come on, take a picture. Check it out, man. There's this book here. Move it over here, okay? So he gets these things from this book here. And you know what? I don't suggest for you guys to grab it. Jeremías, buenos días. What's up, bro? I'm not telling you to grab it. Don't get into this shit. Because I'm telling you right now that I don't even really read it. Especially when it does its little supposedly ceremonies or some shit. Nah, I'm reserving my spirit. Keeping it at a distance with making sure where the enemy's at. So this is what they actually study from. This is what Rabbi Matthews, the black Hebrew Israelite leader, rare old Mosaic books of the Talmud and Kabbalah. That's what he studied. That's what he did. He was practicing incantations. Matthews wrote several phrases in fractured Hebrew on a diagram, on the top one of which can be translated, rise and give me good luck. Just below the meta line, the Hebrew can be translated within the eighth fire and should give me life. This is all Sephiroth shit. You know what I'm saying? This is all like straight Sephiroth to the max. I'm telling you. Look, I'm gonna take a picture of what he did. As you can see, I'm not lying, family. That's why you got to be very, very mindful who you listen to, what you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, nobody else can persuade you but yourself. You be mindful of what you're doing. See this right here? This is from that book, right? Okay, very similar to this right here that he did. That right there, you see that? Very similar. You see that? See that? So he got it from here. See what I'm saying? So you guys that are believing shit, you better know what you're believing and who you're believing it from. That's why I tell you, always confirm everything you do, everything you study, and what people tell you. Matthew's, but his almost messianic connection with God, it is even possible that through the rituals use of the amulets and incantations, Matthew believed himself able to unify the triune parts of the Pentecostal Godhead. God is a Father, He is a Son, and they meet via the medium of eighth Father, the Holy Spirit. Damn. Wow, bro. Talk about it being heavy duty. Now, remember what we're watching, right? Let's not forget the origins of these people.
Africans, who was part of the Ethiopian Hebrews, but they hate Africans though. How do you hate Africans and the man that created your doctrine is from Nigeria, Africa? So let's go to the next slide. That thing we saw earlier when it was Ethiopian Hebrews, so Ethiopian Hebrew large Masons under white folks. Wow. This is not my mill.
See, family? I'm not saying it. They are. Tell you, wait, who are you, bro? Why are you lying to our people? All of a sudden now, in case you guys weren't here before, oh, you missed it, Jeremias. You missed it, Yahweh. You missed it, Jeremias. They literally told you what they want from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe see if I look. I think we need to hear it one more time. Just that part. Just that part. Because you need to, our brothers and sisters, you need to know why they do what they do and say what they say. You can't be bamboozled by the nonsense. Look, it starts right here, okay?
Almost.
There it goes. Look, right here. Okay.
Oh,
I was on this chat for a while. I didn't record it right, but when they booted me out, then it started recording. So after I leave, or after they kick me out, they start saying this, right?
Hey, bro.
come on.
There it goes, right here.
Listen. Like, how you gonna say, well, this means that, and then we get there, and it don't mean nothing that you just said? Are you Bible illiterate? Are we weak? Explain to us what the blasting is in the chat. Explain from there. Fight back, ski mask. Fight back.
It's a pocket knife, yo.
Yo,
Check it. Look, I see now. D. Jackson says now he calling this dude a conquistador. But if this dude calls him a slave or a N-word, I mean, I don't see the point of doing that. He'll cry racism and play victim and say, "See, we're hated. We're hated just like the Bible says." He's got a fucking good point. Oh shit! So check it. And man, this is nuts. Let's go.
we're talking about the pocket knife, yo.
Pocket knife, bro.
Come on, dog. Hey, read Deuteronomy 28:22, and again, we're gonna read down through context, and we're gonna see what the hell it's talking about. Hey,
Deuteronomy.
listen, Northern Kingdom, y'all need to just bend the knee. You will learn from Judah. If you just bend the knee, we'll teach you, and then you could be almost as powerful as us when we teach. Almost, not quite, but almost as powerful.
See? But here we are watching the root, learning about the root of where they come from. Let's go.
So we go to the next slide. This is very interesting because the whole time we thought it was a Hebrew temple, it was a Masonic lodge, and he got raised by a pale white man. And now we see their new symbol today looks mighty like the compass and square. And we see two swords going through it, which is symbolic of the Royal Ark in Freemasonry.
Damn.
And now it's in this symbolism today, the Israelite school of the universal practical knowledge. The swords that are being seen right here are reflective of the Royal Ark degree in Freemasonry. So there's no coincidence with all of this. Because if you put a little line here and a little line here, you're going to wind up what they call a Magen David.
The Star of David, where does that symbol come from?
It's never written explicitly in the Bible itself.
Is it in the Talmud? Perhaps. Is there a passage in the Bible about that or no?
No.
Okay. So you're not really sure exactly where that comes from?
No. You got me.
Nobody knows, huh?
I don't know. I'm not, yeah.
Because I know it's called the Star of David.
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with David?
No, I don't think so.
In Amos, God said, you took up for yourself the star, that's the sixth one, the star, of your God, called Remphan or Kiyun. All these were names for Moloch, the great Baal, the great fire god, who was the devil. You get back to the Masonic fraternity of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Their great symbol is G. You'll look at the star on the compass, which is a stylized Star of David. In fact, they have the entire Star of David in many Masonic temples. Why is that? Masonry is a study of Judaism and of the Kabbalah.
The Jewish Tribune newspaper, on October 28, 1927, stated, "Freemasonry is based on Judaism. Eliminate the teachings of Judaism from the Masonic ritual, and what is left?"
So we see this nice little Magen David, 6-point star, some of us know. 1979, Rabbi Matthew passes. New leadership also name change from Royal Order to Israelite Rabbinical Academy. So they didn't wind up changing the name. Now they're Israelites.
Remember, that's Rabbi, so-called Rabbi Matthews, right? Let me go to the first section of this book here so I can see it. It's I saw you disappear with my own eyes. Hidden transcripts of the New York Black Israelite Bride College. Okay, and here it mentions him. To date, scholars have tended to view Black Israelites as mercenary, derivative, or imitative. However, this micro-historical reading of the public, partial and hidden transcripts of the New York Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthews' beliefs and ritual practices demonstrate that Black Israelites did not simply imitate Jews, but rather they were bricolier who constructed a polycultural religion that creatively reworked threads from religious faith, secret societies, and magical grimoires. What does that word mean? And texts, the Moses stuff. Ooh, like that? That's crazy, you know? Look at that, family. Ain't that nuts? That's what that means. You know, like the Ouija board shit, man, I never touched that thing. I was, even at a young age, I knew not to ever mess with that. Look at this shit, bro. This is crazy, man. This is the root, fam. I'm not saying it. They're saying it. Let's continue. Again, this is who they're talking about. Rabbi Matthews. Black Israelite religious identity was imagined and performed in sidewalk lectures in Marcus Garvey's Liberty Hall. You see, they were all part of this shit. All Kabbalistic, all basically Masonic. Let's continue.
Those who turn to Jewish traditions to augment their spiritual lives, in actuality are turning to Pharisaism. Jewish scholars admit the fact that modern Judaism is Pharisaism. Pharisaism became Talmudism.
So we see who got their hands all in this Israelite culture. So then later is eternal strife for commandment keepers will culminate. Obviously, the direction causes problems. Early separation from commandment keepers by Rabbi Abba Bivens. Abba Bivens will eventually create School of the Torah, Old Testament. Abba Bivens.
The bottom it says Masonic controlled organizations, ICUPK, ICUPK, OAC, IUIC, who I was, talking to, GOCC, FOPE, NOI, FOI. Let's continue.
Will be critically beaten and named Ariah, Yaqub, and Peter Sherrod, who said he came in a personage of King David. Leaders, Ariah will change teachings of Abba Bivens by adding Messianic New Testament, thereby forming what you know today is the ISUPK, the ICUPK, your Alliance of Israel, your AOC, and all the other people that exist, the ICIU and all that. Spin-off camps.
Numbers 15. The Lord said to Moses,
Speak to the people of Israel and tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a cord of blue on the tassel of each corner.
Deuteronomy 22.
It says, You shall make tassels on the four corners of the clothing. And this word for tassels is different. It's not tzitzit, it's gedalim. And it means twisted threads. And so it's in the sense of twisting. And so when you're looking at a tunic, we know that tunics often would have four corners. And here is a photo of a tunic. But you'll notice here that there's one corner, there's the other, and you can kind of see this other corner behind it. And they even have these tassels hanging down on each corner. The Katan Tali had this opening for the head so that you could wear it over your shoulders.
A lot of the founding of America was based on Moorish science. So again, Masonry is based on Moorish science. So they would have these Moorish advisors around them. If you look at old paintings of George Washington, you will see George Washington standing next to a black man with a turban. And remember, when you see the black man with the turban, that's a Moor. That's not a slave. See, people automatically assume that black is slave, but slaves didn't wear no turbans. Because remember, slaves weren't allowed to practice no Islam or any other kind of religion except Christianity.
Moorish Science Temple of America. Founded in Newark, New Jersey, in 1913 by Timothy Drew, known to followers as Noble Drew Ali and also as the Prophet. Drew Ali thought that all blacks were of Moorish origins but had their Muslim identity taken away from them through slavery and racial segregation. Noble Drew Ali wrote, Black Americans were actually Asiatics who descended from the Moabites. Teachings of Noble Drew Ali from the Moorish Questionnaire, better known as the Moorish 101. Number 5. Who is Noble Drew Ali? He is Allah's prophet. 17. What is our religion? Islamism. Number 87. In all reality, what is a Negro? A Negro is a four-legged animal. 88. What is meant by the word black? Black, according to science, means death. 90. What does Ethiopia mean? Ethiopia means something divided. 91. Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. 94. Will you define the word white? White means purity. Purity means God, and God means the ruler of the land. The Nation of Islam grew out of the contested succession to Drew Ali and became a separate organization in Detroit in 1932. In addition to the main body of Freemasonry derived from the British tradition, There are now a number of appendant groups which draw their membership from the higher degrees of Freemasonry.
As a glimpse of their root. And you cannot deny this no matter how bad you're trying to hide from it. Let me see if I can go here. Let's read this, family. Then we need to go through some things real quick. I believe in chapter 9. Yeah, chapter 9 talks about the division of each nation having their own lot. Okay. So let's read this. Jubilees chapter 9, verse 1, it says, "And Ham divided amongst his sons, and the first portion came forth from Cush towards the east." That's Ethiopia. "And to the west of him, Mizraim." That's the northern part of Africa, Egypt. "And to the west of him, Put." That's the north part of Africa going towards the west part. "And to the west of him," meaning to the west thereof, on the sea, meaning West Africa, is for Canaan, okay? Now, this happened after the Phaleg, after the division of the nations. Shem also divided amongst his sons. The first portion came forth for Ham and his sons to the east of the river Tigris, till it approaches the east and the whole land of India, and on the sea coast, and where Dedan and all the mountains of Mebrah and Elah and the land of Suzan and that of the side Farnak and the Red Sea and the river. And for Ashur came for the second portion, right? So we start seeing the division of Shem, right? Because first it was given to Ham, right? Now it's talking about Shem having all these sections, Arphaxad, Chaldean, Aramea, right? Chaldee, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty much what it talks about. Now, but then something happens. Okay, we know that Canaan was supposed to be in West Africa. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You can see the envy since. Jubilees 10 and 28, "And Ham and his sons went into the land which he was to occupy, West Africa, which he acquired as his portion in the land of the south," if based on chapter 9. "And Canaan saw the land of Lebanon," meaning the land that belonged to Shem, "to the river Egypt, that it was very good. And he went not into the land of his inheritance to the west, that is to the sea, West Africa. And he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward, from the borders of Jordan and from the borders of the sea." Now, what exactly does the scripture talk about? Thou shalt not envy. thy brother, right? Thy brother's house. Like it literally talks about don't envy what is given to other people. And the first thing that we see Canaan do is envy. As if that's their land. With no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. The only way that happens, family, is if they're a powerful nation. And yes, Canaanites are a powerful nation in the sense of physicality. In the scriptures, it talks about they're like Shaq and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I can see these other nations like, nah, I ain't trying to attack that shit. Until the Most High talked to Abraham and said, listen, I'm going to send your seed back to there. And don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. And Ham and his father in Cush and Mizraim, his brother said to him, you have settled in a land which is not yours, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not do so, for if you do so, and you and your sons will fall in the land and be accursed through sedition, for by sedition have you settled, and by sedition will your children fall, and you shall be rooted out forever. Then it says, dwell not in the dwellings of Shem, for to Shem and his sons did it come by their lot. Cursed are you, and cursed shall you be beyond all the sons of Noah, by the curse by which we bound ourselves by an oath in the presence of the Kadesh judge, and in the presence of Noah our father. But he did not listen to them, and dwelt in the land of Lebanon from Hamath entering to Egypt, he and his sons unto this day. And for this reason, that land is named Canaan. It wanted to remind y'all of who they are. It talks about a history of slave resistance in the United States. Check this. The majority of black slave owners were members of the mulatto class. Bullshit, but let's continue. And in some cases were the sons and daughters of white slave masters. Black slave masters, white slave masters. Don't let it get twisted here. They use the word owners, but here's it go. Man, come on, bro. They use the word owners here, but they use the word master here. You see how convenient these things are? Many of the mulatto slave owners separated themselves from masses of black people and attempted to establish a caste system based on color. It's true. They had this thing called white standard. They were battling for the meaning of white standard in the Reconstruction time. It says, from the masses of black people attempted to establish a caste system based on color. You see that? They happened here again, and it happened in 1492. That's where it originated from. That whole picture about us looking like them and changing and shit. Nah, fuck no. That's bullshit, man. According to Martin Delany, the colored community of Charleston City clung to the assumption of the superiority of white blood and brown skin complexion. You see that to this day. Now they use this white blood and brown skin trying to claim that they are the original people of this land. These mulattoes of these mulattoes of the old free black elite did not attend church with the dark-skinned blacks in Charleston City. You see this? Now, let's pay attention, family. Do not let this go over your head. Free black elite. They didn't get along with dark-skinned blacks that maybe were not elite, but they were still slavers. They not only formed congregations which excluded freedmen of dark complexion. Freedmen. If you were free, you'd be able to buy. But they only married among other mulattoes to keep the color in the family, like Louisiana. You see a lot of them like that. Boulets, a lot of like that. That's why you see a lot of people that try to claim like, oh, look at my hair, it's because I'm a native. Oh, bullshit. You're mixed with white. Fuck out of here with that crap. The large number of free blacks owned slaves. The large numbers of free blacks owned black slaves in numbers disproportionate to their representation in society. You see this? According to the federal census of 1830, free blacks owned more than 10,000 slaves in Louisiana, Maryland, South Carolina, and Virginia.
That's gonna hurt!
Remember, there wasn't like 300 million people like today at that time. So you go figure 10,000 slaves just in those 4 states or 5 states. No, 4 states. You're still talking about other states as well. They weren't just there. The majority of black slave owners lived in Louisiana and planted sugarcane. You see? And planted sugarcane. By the way, they had Irish slaves So black folks had white people as slaves. The nerve of you to claim that the white man is the only oppressor. Slave holdings among the mulatto class and slave holdings among the black class, okay, a black upper class, let's just put it that way. Like Candace Owens and shit, she had slaves too. Stop lying. In South Carolina, it was widespread according to the first census of 1790. Listen, I don't know about you white folks, man, but you guys were enslaved, okay? These morenos had you motherfuckers in slavery. And you talk about bug breaking, hey, they're still doing it in jail. They prefer you guys. Do you understand what that means? Wake the hell up. Remind people of who they are, man. Black and white conquistadors, that's a real fucking thing. And you can't deny that shit. So put the Bible down, Canaan, which revealed that 36 out of 102, or 35% of free blacks head of family held slaves. 35% just in Charleston City. What are we talking about here? I thought the white man got you in slavery. I thought it was just the white man. Yo pensé que era el gringo, güey. Que no era el gringo que te puso en esclavitud, cabrón. ¿O ya se los olvidaron o qué? Ya de repente el gringo ya no es el único, ya no es el único esclavo porque nosotros también dice que tuvimos esclavos. Eso me dijeron el otro día también en ese chat. Native Americans had slaves too. Oh, so that makes it right. As soon as I bring up your shit, now all of a sudden you remember that natives had slaves. So basically, you're confirming that you knew that Negros had slaves too, right? Of course. By 1800, one of every 3 blacks recorded owning slave property. You see this? By 1800, 1 out of every 3, 1/3 of these people own slave property. Okay? Matter of fact, I was going to bring up this information, and again, it doesn't pertain to us, fam, because I'm not here to defend the sons of Esau. It's not my job. They got to do it themselves, but they were slaves, bro. White cargo. It says I have another one. White slavery in early America. You know, I'm not here to defend y'all. You guys need to do it yourselves. But I mean, stop trying to act like as if you guys are so superior. You're not. Both of you guys work together. Neither one of you have done this by yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You guys both work together. Let me show you a little snippet of the picture. Check this out. Watch this. White slavery in early America. Right? Brian Davis writing the New York Review of Books. It says, as late as the 14th, 15th centuries, continuing shipments of white slaves, something Christians, flowed from the booming slave markets in the northern Black Sea coast into Italy, Spain, Egypt, and Mediterranean Sea islands from Barbados to Virginia. Colonists showed a few scruples about reducing their less fortunate countrymen in a status little different from that of the chattel slaves. And the prevalence and suffering of white slaves, serfs, and indentured servants in the early modern period suggest that there was nothing inevitable about limiting plantation slavery to people of African origin. You see this? In 1659, the English Parliament debated the practice of selling British whites into slavery in the New World, and I have a book on that. I'm not going to look for it because I need to move on. In the debate, the whites were referred to not as indentured servants, but as slaves whose enslavement threatened the liberties of all Englishmen. Then it says here, Labor in America quotes an early document describing white children in colonial servitude as crying and mourning for redemption from their slavery. Beckles of the University of Hull, England, writes regarding white slave labor, indentured contracts were alienable, the ownership of which could easily be transferred, meaning slave, or sold, like that of any other commodity, as the slave ownership chart changed without their participation. These people were not just enslaving Negros. They had natives as well as slaves too. But see, they don't like to talk about that. And again, when you bring this up, all of a sudden it's not true. Are you guys still Israelites of the Bible? Because the scriptures say that, Deuteronomy talks about a nation from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. A nation whose language and customs and religions you would not understand. And it's not just saying that in this verse. It says that in the combination of these verses. Verse 37 talks about that In verse 30, let me see, let me go through 36 maybe. And the Lord shall bring thee and thy kings, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. Verse 64 talks like this, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto another, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Verse 49 says, the Lord shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. What are we talking about here? Why are we playing ourselves, family? I got a book called Early Libyan Christianity, okay? I took a picture here, but I'm going to read this real quick, this part here. It talks about that, let's see, page 113. These were the unusual years of an African bishop of Rome and the African emperor of Rome. During this time, we see the rapid rise of the young rhetor and legal scholar Tertullian to intellectual leadership of lay believers in Carthage. These were Africans dealing with white folks since the beginning of time. Black popes, like we had here, black padres. How come that is very difficult for you guys to understand? I don't understand why this is so hard for you people to understand. Are you that blind or are you that emotional that you cannot swallow your pride and shit for just a moment and listen? Page 115, 2 of his cousins served as the council under the Emperor Antonius Pius. His native language as Leptus was Libyophoenic, meaning African, but he was also educated in Latin and Greek, you see, which he spoke with slightly awkward accents. His cousin Gaius Septimius Severus was appointed proconsul of the Africa province in AD 173, unpopular with the Roman Senate. Septimius Severus raised his own army of 50,000. What are we talking about here? The scriptures say that you would not know these people. What at all? Nothing about them. Not their religion, not their language, not their customs. Matter of fact, not just you. Your fathers have not known them. This religion we did not know, family. At all. Let's go back. Between 1820 and 1840, the percentage of slaveholdings head of family ranged from 72% to 77%. However, by 1850, the percentage fell to 42%. You see this? According to the U.S. Census reports in 1860, only a small minority of whites owned slaves. Out of a population of 27 million whites, only 8 million lived in the South, and out of this population, fewer than 885,000 owned slaves. In short, the total white population owned about 1.4, while the southern white population owned about 4 enslaved Africans. On the other hand, the black population in 1860 was 4.5 million, with about 50,000 living in the South. Of the blacks residing in the South, 261 were not slaves, half of them. You see this? What the fuck are you guys talking about then? What do you mean? You weren't slaves. You weren't indentured servants. You had property. You had slaves at property. What are you guys talking about? How come you don't say this? How come you don't teach us? You don't go to your clubhouse little fucking echo chamber and teach this shit. No, you keep saying the white man enslaved me, the white man enslaved me. What are you talking about, man? Out of this number, 10,689 lived in New Orleans. In New Orleans, 3,000 free blacks owned slaves. About 28% of the free population in the city. Look at this. 1790, 1800, 1810, 1830, 1840, 1850, 1860. What the fuck are we talking about here? Owners of slaves. I don't care how proportionate this is very disproportionate. Averaging 2. Look at this. 270, 315, 143, 200, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 500. What are we talking about here? You guys believe this stupid ass nonsense? These camps that try to teach you guys are Issachar Holmes, you guys are Ephraim Holmes. The fuck are you guys talking about? I mean, are we that stupid? Hey, listen, if you want to join that camp because you really feel like a Canaanite, bro, by all means, give them your daughters, bro. You probably are. The following chart shows free black slave owners and their slaves in Charleston. 1790, family. Come on, man. What happened in 1619? What happened with FBA? All these idiots talking about reparations. Which ones are you going to give money to? The white slaves, black slaves, brown slaves, native slaves? Which ones? And who are you going to blame for it? The white man, the black man, the indigenous, Hispanic man, the Native American man? Which one? You, both of you, cannot admit this fact. The white man does not want to admit that they were enslaved by the Morenos because it completely destroys the stupid history that they taught their people as if they were superior, right? It would destroy them all. Trust and believe. They'll lose their strength and spirit. And these Morenos don't want to admit that they helped the white man because then their narrative of 1619, Willie Lynch letter, slavery, oppression, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit goes down the tubes. And nobody will feel sorry for them anymore. So they're both in us. They're like between a rock and a hard place, family. That's why you need to know you stay right in the middle. You stay right in the middle. You see what I'm saying? The following charts show free black slave owners and their slaves in Charleston, 1790, 1860. What are you going to say to this, Volta? You going to bring up another fucking dumbass excuse and shit? You see what I'm saying? You guys ignore all these facts. This is too emotional for you. You don't bring any facts. You just bring some stupid ass comment about whatever it is. I tell you what, I'll give you credit. You did your job the other day. You know what I'm saying? You did cause division, which it only shows who the weak people are because, you know, brother's here. In 1860, there was at least 6 African Americans in Louisiana who owned 65 or more slaves. What the fuck are we talking about here, man? What are we going to do now? Are you guys that are in these camps still going to believe that they're superior than you? You heard what he said himself. When you bend the knee, then they'll embrace you. See, they don't see eye to eye with you. Not at all. I'm not trying to be better than somebody, but I am definitely never fucking bowing down my fucking knee for you. What are you, stupid? The largest number, 152 slaves, were owned by the widow of C. Richards and her son P.C. Richards, who owned a large sugarcane plantation. You see this? Let me read it again for the people in the back. This is what I'm saying, family. You guys, they run. These Canaanites run from these facts. What are you going to do? How are you going to get around this now? Where's your Deuteronomy 28? Where is it here? Tell me now that this happened to you now. Deuteronomy 28:35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs and with the sore botch that cannot be healed from the soles of thy foot unto the top of thy head. This never happened to you here. So it says here that the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. Thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. You see this right here? It doesn't say that it doesn't look like it to me. Verse 33 says crushed always. Here we see slaves, owners, negros, having slaves. It wasn't just the white man. This is why I keep saying to you, brothers and sisters, it wasn't just the white man that's the colonizer. It's the negro colonizers and the white colonizers. This is what it is. Why the Negro wretched of the earth? Why the heathen hate Raza? That's what it is, family. They're the wretched of the earth. That's why scriptures say they will both be destroyed. See, look, that's all they have. That's all they can resort to. And listen, this is a good example, family. They attack either people that are here, but they don't, or me, but they don't attack the message. Attack the message. You see what I'm saying? You're looking even more stupid now. You're proving our point. You're proving our point. The largest number, 152 slaves, were owned by the widow, the Negro, or African American, C. Richards, and her son P. Richards, who owned a large sugarcane plantation. Look at this. Another black slave magnate in Louisiana with over 100 slaves. was Antoine Dubeclet, I guess, a sugar planter whose estate was valued at $264,000, fam. In North Carolina, 69 free blacks were slave owners.
That's right. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Look at this. Okay, that's in what? And what year is it? 1860. Let me see. How much is 260,000 worth now compared to 1860? See if I ask it correct. About $3.8 million, family. This was a millionaire. This right here, this guy, these black folks who owned 100 slaves, ran a sugar plantation. $264,000 was almost $4 million. He was a millionaire, fam. This is a Negro Moreno like Volta right here. See this? What's their excuse now? Are you going to sit here and say you're a Hebrew? How? With what even consideration? You don't fit the curses of the plagues. They didn't take your land. Where's the king that they took from you, the leader, supposedly, that they would submit as well? When would you be left in carcasses, like on the floor? What plants did they take from you guys? What cattle did they rob from you? None whatsoever. None of it whatsoever. The majority of urban black slave owners were women. In 1820, free black women represented 68% of head of households in North and 70% of slaveholdings heads of colored households in the South. The large percentage of black women slave owners is explained by the manumission by their white fathers. How convenient, you know what I'm saying? Or inheritance from their white fathers or husbands. Black women were the majority of slaves emancipated by white slave-owning men whom they had sexual relations. 33% of all recorded colonial manumissions were mulatto children, and 75% of all adult manumission were females. These females had men, had boys too, that looked like them, and now they think that they're actually, so-called Africans, which in reality, they're just like white folks with a tan, that's it. See, it tells you the first black slave owner on the origins of slavery. Year Americans arrived in Jamestown in Virginia in 1607. 2 years after that, they became, cannibals and shit, eating their horses, their dogs, unearthing their dead, buried people so they can eat them and boil them and shit. That's real stuff. It's called the Starving Times. It's 1609 Starving Times. Look it up. House of Borges records show that Africans were already in the colony before 1960, so 1619. You see what I'm saying? John Rolfe provides us with the eyewitness account of his first group. About the last of August 1619 came a Dutch man of war that sold us 20 Negars, I guess they call it. Among them, one was called Antonio from Angola. Later, we find Antonio becomes Anthony Johnson. Another listed as Angelo, a Negro woman, and John Pedro, a Negro aged 30. The census of 1624 and 25 showed that there were 23 Africans living in Jamestown, listed as servants, not slaves. You see this? Now, this guy here, Anthony Johnson, he definitely became a slaver for sure, without a doubt. Without a doubt. A massive slaver. Matter of fact, he's the first one that took people to court to make them perpetual slaves. In 1649, there were about 300 Africans in the colony and increasing mulatto population. Africans and Europeans indentured servants' offsprings were increasing and considered alarming in regards to the status of mulatto. That is, a system was evolving based on being either white or black. You see, by this time, you guys could even tell who was who. You could be black looking and be a white boy, and you can be a white boy and be black. So-called. The point is this, family. When is this lie going to stop? When is it going to be enough? When will be, you know what I'm saying? When is this, like, honestly? Hey, Joe, don't listen to him. They don't attack the message. They attack the messenger or they attack people. That's all they got. That's all they got. It's and see, by the way of you even going around saying stuff like that, it just shows that you've lost grip. And all your people are losing grip. Here you are making fun of me, or supposedly making fun of me, and here you got black folks claiming that they're R1s. Let me educate this young kid real quick, because he questioned that. I'm going to show you this real quick, and I'm going to show it fast, okay? I've seen this. You guys have seen this before, but let's answer it. It's only going to be about 20 minutes, maybe 15. All right, let's go real quick. Let's answer his stupid question about R1 some shit, okay? Let's go. I figured let me bring it up again, because you know what? This is what it is, man. So if you believe in science, I'll give you a little science. So I'm going to share with you all on a scientific level who I am according to the science. Now, this is going to go into like actual science regarding haplo, when you'll talk about the origination of human, which they say it's Africa, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you believe that, that's fine. The Bible says otherwise, but we'll entertain this, and I'll entertain it since you guys asked. So since you're making fun of me, and at the same time, assuming I'm not of the gente, fine, it's okay. But at least I can prove that what I've been showing in the Bible is actually in my DNA. So why do I know what I know? It's because it's in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? That's why. And that's the fucking problem you got with me. That's why. So I'm going to show you today who I am according to science and why I know what I know and how come I am going to talk about it, because this is my cultura too. So let's go back. You don't believe in the Bible, you better stick around, man, because you better start learning some shit.
People in the audience. The Out of Africa event has never been debunked. And the people of America via Beringia has never been debunked either. We have genetic and archaeological evidence, right, to connect all of this stuff, okay? So let's go back to the Out of Africa event. People descend, non-Africans descend from the L3 haplogroup, which left out of Africa about 70,000 years ago, okay? The people of America possess a mitochondrial gene that originated in East Asia. There's no way around that shit, all right? Now let's read. The mitochondrial, right, the L mitochondrial haplogroup originated in sub-Saharan Africa approximately 130 to 200,000 years ago. The MNN haplogroups descended from L3 approximately 65 to 70,000 years ago when humans left Africa. Haplogroup M moved into Asia, later giving rise to haplogroup A, B, C, and D. Now, family, Native Americans possess a haplogroup of A, B, C, and D. Tell me how y'all got your haplogroup in America. Where did it start in America? That didn't start in America. Your haplogroup originated in Asia. Is a branch off the M haplogroup. Your mitochondrial gene is what I'm talking about. This is an unbreakable chain, unbreakable line from your mother's mother's mother. I'm not talking about autosomal DNA. I'm talking about mitochondrial lineages that connect you guys back to Eurasia. It is what it is. Okay, the haplogroup M moved into Asia, gave rise to haplogroups A, B, C, D, and G, and F. Right? Now haplogroup N moved into Eurasia, giving rise to haplogroup R, which is the root of haplogroup H. I can't read the rest, but you already know where this is going. Now the bottom line is, like I said, we're all connected. We all have some type of mitochondrial lineage. So don't get mad, get smart, and prove me wrong. Now look, another thing, if I have said anything to upset anybody, I apologize. But I'm standing on my genetic business all day. And if you want to debate this, let's go.
And you know what? I don't disagree or blame him for saying what he's saying, because here's where a lot of our so-called native Indian or American brothers here in the North who have a disagreement with us here, raza, right? They say we're not indigenous. When we have brought up information regarding history that they found about our people here, you said it's not true, it's been debunked, like Las Lunas Stone, right? But yet you sit on science from the white man, the same science that he's talking about, right? Now, this is the science that if you believe 10,000, 90-something thousand years ago, right? You so-called Native Americans up north here, that you're not, you know what I mean? You're not us, because some of y'all believe that shit. Now, I'm talking about the wobbles right now. But you believe in science, and you're using this science, so that means that, you know, you technically did come from that area, so to speak. Now, you wobbles, you use the Siberia concept, but then you don't follow through with the science to explain the Siberia theory. So you stop at the Siberia, but then you don't reflect on the fact that you African too, dumbass. You know, so the reason I'm bringing this up is because I had brought up certain things about me, and you know, I was pretty impressed and I guess surprised by it, because I did not know any better. I did not know any better. So I did my DNA. And apparently some people say, oh, nah, see, you're showing that you're somebody else. But see, this is when you talk without knowing. And certain people have already shown us that they talk a lot of ass, you know what I mean? Like they talk a lot without knowing or reading or studying, which for me, it does bother me a bit. I don't like lose sleep over it, but you know, one that goes to not to the extreme, but at least like a man should to learn and understand what, you know, what you're going to supposedly disagree with. I'm looking for this link, but I'll skip it. So where am I going with this? I'm gonna show you guys something. All right. Some people question and they say certain things about me and shit, and so be it. Fine. I'm gonna give you guys a little history on the haplo stuff here. A little history. We're gonna start right around. I don't know why my internet's messing up, family. I really don't know why. We'll start right around here, okay? And then we'll stop at around. We'll let it run for 2 minutes. If you don't understand this, I'm trying to make a point. If I'm standing on my ground that I believe in this beautiful book that I have here, and I'm sharing with you who we are according to the Bible, and then, you know, it reflects on my DNA. Well, my DNA says that I technically descend from these people that are in the Bible. So go kick rocks. I'm gonna stand ground on that shit. You want to push me away? Well, hey, fuck it. I guess I am on my own. Let's go.
Since the late Paleolithic. R1b in 343, first formed somewhere in northern Iran or southern Central Asia, is believed to have migrated to the Fertile Crescent for herding. It is hypothesized that about 10,500 years ago, they probably domesticated cattle with tribes with YD and AJ2. R1b, a descendant of mammoth hunters who lived in the vast Siberian plains, began hunting other large game, such as bison and auroch, when the mammoth went extinct. Around 10,000 BCE, the game starts to decline as the population grows in the Fertile Crescent. Instead of aggressively hunting wild animals, they began domesticating aurochs, boars, and goats. Analysis of cattle DNA showed that today's living Bos taurus came from a population of only about 80 aurochs. Evidence of domestication of cattle goes back to the pre-pottery Neolithic culture around 8500 BC. The oldest archaeological sites showing signs of livestock breeding are in the Fertile Crescent. The villages of Kayona Tepesi in the southeastern part of Turkey and the town of Jada el Mughara in the northern part of Syria. These two villages are only 200 kilometers away. Pigs and cattle were raised in Kayona Tepesi. This is where pigs were first domesticated. Genetic studies of emmer wheat suggest that it was first domesticated on the slopes of Mount Karacha near Kayonu. Jada el Mughara is also a pre-pottery Neolithic settlement around 900 BC. The people who lived here mainly hunted gazelles but also killed aurochs and equids. R1b1p25 may have raised cattle with people of paternal line J2 somewhere between these two regions. Perhaps this is where the R1b lineage settled before the expansion, the original homeland of the R1b.
Okay, so this is the original homeland after, you know, several branches away from the development of its haplogroup, right? So again, I'm very limited in my knowledge on this, but enough just to kind of understand, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know enough about this. So here it says R1b, primarily in this region here, okay? Primarily in this region here. Now, the original homeland. All right, so now you see this right here, and I'm gonna show you guys some pictures because again, I'm gonna stand firm on this shit. You know, you wanna make jokes, fine. I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna stand on it now, man. Since you say what you want to say. So let's go. If you think about this place here, this is basically the whole story of the book, and it's you know, and for lack of better words, this is it right here. Not this right here, right there, that area. Okay, you see this right here? It's the same curvature as the video. The same curvature as the video, okay? I'm not making shit up. And if you look back at, let me see a nice picture. Let me get a good picture. This one right here, bam. See, this is Arabia, Mesopotamia, Chaldea. The curvature, as you can see, right? The R1b originates in this region. So now, this R1b concept does branch out as well. R1b that goes to the western part, R1b that goes in Central Africa, and then R1b that is scattered among these regions, okay? Now, me personally did my DNA test as well, and if I would have said, yes, you know, my R1b, whatever, is in certain areas in Europe, you're right. You'd probably be right to say what you say. But that's not what happened. That's not what it occurred, okay, family? And I didn't make this shit up, all right? I didn't make this up. I didn't do this, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I'm in the Bible. No. I didn't believe this stuff before. I believed in God, but that was as far as it went. So here's from CRI Genetics, my so-called DNA. It says here that I'm predominantly 64% Mexican. Now, the most recent recent analysis, okay? 91% of the Americas. You see sprinkles of all these little things here. One over here, here, here. And you can tell by this right there. The highest is what? The most recent, 4%. Something, South Asia, Sri Lanka, or Sri Lanka, Tamil, almost 3%, all right? That's the most recent. Now, it says here that it could be from related countries of origin, maybe here. But now it says Spain, which is awkward because there's only one, and that's very low percentage. Anyways, you know what I mean? So whatever, it's all good. And it's not even in Spain. Now, here you go into more detail into what the so-called Mexica or Mexicans are related to. Now, if you go to, here, let me change this here. If you go to what's called advanced analysis, now this company, what they do here, hold on, is that they provide you with an advanced analysis, not just recent, but since like in 1,000 years back. So it says here that predominantly, I'm 92% of the Americas, okay? 77% Peruvian. This is the analysis of advanced, long-term. 4%, 1% of all these things, less than 1% of all these, less than 1% of all these, and like no African in me whatsoever. And if I was it, I still would love it, but I'm not. So anyways, now check this out. Regardless of whether I'm 92, 87, 85, this is what I'm trying to point out. Aymara and Quechua, okay? Aymara and Quechua. Aymara and Quechua. Pay attention. Now, you're saying, okay, well, what does that mean? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bring you back or put you back into what I call, or what they call a ancestry going back 1,000 years. So it says here that my bloodline is going back 1,000 years in the Americas, okay? That's one thing I want to make sure. That ain't gone with the bad Spaniards before you go off and say some dumb shit like that. So let me hurry up. Peruvian, Mexican. Peruvian, Mexican. There's some Southern Chinese in there. Whatever it is, I'm going to follow through with it. Peruvian, Mexican, or Peruvian. Then he comes back in. Okay, let's continue. Peruvian, Mexican, Peruvian, Mexican. Now you see the years. 1745 AD, right? Let's go all the way back. We go all the way to the end, and I'm Peruvian, Mexican. So as far as the last 1,000 years, because that's what they, have you looked this information up? They can go as far as 1,000 years back. That's the most. Okay? Now, let me explain something to you here. Where are you? Can you see? Where is it? Did they take it off? Nah, they couldn't have done that. Okay, this is kind of weird, family, to be honest. I was on this yesterday. And for some reason, it's missing the paternal. And that's weird. But it's all good. Let me show you guys some pictures here. Okay. And again, I'm just trying to make a case in point, and then we're going to move on. Okay. So, anyways, me too. I don't. One of those videos that apparently I didn't get the chance to show it because that day their system was down, so I couldn't show the DNA ancestry, right? So I'm gonna show it right now. I showed it last night, you know, but like we're going back to this today because now these grimy motherfuckers, bro. Like these guys just grimy, bro. You guys are just grimy. You know, it's like, bro, you don't know where to fit in. You wanna like fit every single aspect of your shit. So here, let me show you guys real quick. Because apparently I was questioned about it yesterday, you know what I mean? So this is who we are, family. I didn't come here alone. My family didn't travel over here on our own ways. We went through the migration. This is who we are. Right here. This is our people. And I'm showing this to you guys because I did not come alone. Hey, guys. Hey, well, you just got to show your DNA. Bro, listen, I'll tell you what, Negro, when you don't want to take care of your baby's mama, you're going to use DNA to fucking get away from your fucking responsibility because that's what you Negros do. All of a sudden, DNA don't matter but it matters. When does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, when the fuck does it matter? We don't believe you guys no more. You guys are so soft and weak that we don't know how to deal with y'all, man. Matter of fact, I'll say it like this, bro. I have more trust in the white man than I have more trust in the black man. You want to know why? Because at least I could kind of shake the white man's hand and be like, yeah, you're going to deceive me. And I know you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I see you. And the black man be like, hey, what's up? We brothers, brah. We brothers. And they'll fucking straight take your shit. But you guys not know about the whole agravio since the beginning of time? The reason why I did this live was because of that reason. Look, I'll show you, dude. I'll show you. Hey, Rayak, you still there, bro? Rayak, you still, my bad, bro. Like, you know me, man. I get to talking and shit.
No, I'm here, brother.
Hey, go ahead and say something before I just kind of go on a little tangent and shit.
No, go ahead, man. I was following you. I mean, all this follows scripture, brother. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would like for you to bring some shit out right now.
Well, I was going to send it to you in a message because it's a pretty big class. I mean, we have to cover basically the people of Aram, the people of Ur of the Chaldees. You know what is discussed in the Bible, but you know a lot of people don't want to take it that route. But we are stating here that these people come from this region that you're quoting out is the region of Aram, bro.
I just wanted to show that to you guys so you can see what we're talking about. And that right there, I didn't get into it in the video. Here, let me close it out because we're done with that. But it's technically, you know, now they're claiming this. Look, check this out. The location of the paternal clade, on the other hand, does match the former centers of Black Native American occupation and forced migration of Mongoloid, which they think it's you, fam, and Black Native Americans into the Southwest. You see what I'm Native? It's crazy. Which suggests that the presence of R1 among the Mongoloid Native American is the result of Mongoloid Black Native American admixture. You see this? This Indian African admixture would have been between SSA and the Black Native Americans already here at the advent of the colonial era, making Mongoloid Native Americans. The African specific are, see what I'm saying? Sub-Saharan. See what I mean? There used to be, what was that, Ebon B, I guess? Now they're ours. And with the same attitude and argument of just, you know, cluelessness. I don't care what you say anymore, Kanan. It don't matter to me what comments you make. Attack the message. You keep attacking me, it just shows how weak you guys are. The phylogeography and origins for haplogroup R1 in the United States has been the subject of intense debate among researchers. Given the presence of R1 among Europeans, researchers have assumed that this haplogroup was introduced into North America by Europeans. This view is not supported by the phylogeography of haplogroup R, which does not correspond to the former territory of European colonies with the highest population density. See what I'm saying? Now this guy's claiming that that this belongs to them. We analyzed 3 subclads of R haplogroup. The Y chromosome sample were from the sub-Saharan African and Native American lineage. The database of Y chromosome R genomes from Africa and North America was compiled. Yada, yada, yada. You get the point. You see? Then all of a sudden now they want this. First they didn't want it. Now they want it. And the reason is because a lot of you brothers, if you knew, it seems like you guys were tested like that. And a lot of you guys are coming up with that same particular type of haplo. But since they want to create this Negro Americano, Ameri-Indian, carry the X haplo, blah, 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 blah. So obviously now look, it's just they're throwing whatever sticks to the wall, fam. Whatever sticks to the wall. Let's see how far we are. Oh, so now let me explain this real quick before we move on. And I got something else to read to you, and then I should be done. So this haplogroup R, just basic information, okay? Its frequencies are depending on where you're at. We saw a video that shows the origin of it before it's scattered everywhere else. But this particular haplo has 2 types of branches, the R1L754 and the R1B2 PH155. But the L754 has 2 major subclads, R1B1A1B, 6269, which predominates Western Europe, and R1B1A2 V88, which is today common in Central Africa. So you see, there's 2 branches, And one does pertain to these two people, Europeans and Africans, okay? Come on, man. Give me, what the hell now? Are you serious? Hello? Hello? Oh, what is it? Freezing on me now? Oh, you can't be serious, man. For real? Hold on, family. Ah, I knew it. I guess the devil is at work. This is crazy. This is nuts. This is crazy, family. Look what it's doing. Look what it's doing. There are some wicked spirits out there right now, fam. Honestly. They froze my screen and everything. Wow. You see the hate, fam? See the hate, family? You see the hate? I'm telling you, man. It's definitely demons. They actually froze my shit. They did it last time. Fucking bastards. Doesn't matter to me. Don't matter to me, man. I'm still gonna expose your funky asses. Recently closed. Let me see. No, I need that one. Let me see that one. I'll tape that one later. Let me see this one. Oh, this one. Yes. Let's get that one. So we left off in this section here. So I was basically going back to the point, and as I said before, right? This branch here. Okay, so this branch has two sub-branches, European and African, okay? But this branch, it doesn't. The other branch, I'm sorry, which predominates Western Europe and A1, which today common in Central Africa. I'm sorry, but this branch. So this one has two branches, this one does not. This branch here, the other branch, the one I belong to, is so rare and widely dispersed that it is difficult to draw any conclusion about its origin. It has been found in Bahrain, West Asia, the Persian Gulf, in India, in Nepal, in South Asia, Karmish region, Tibet, between India and China. Look at this right here, Central Asia, found in Turkey, in Western China. So, you know, we got people that come here and talk about certain things, right? You bring them facts and they just attack. It don't bother me, man. You think the white man's not going to come after your Negro ass? They're going to come after your black ass too, bro. Don't even think that they're your fucking friends. Don't even think that they're your fucking friends. They're passing laws to make sure that they get these things done. They could not do these things without these laws. This is the way that they move. But hey, man, it's all good, bro. The only reason you're laughing now is because you can't attack any of my facts that I bring. Don't attack the messenger, bro. Get mad at the message, man. Hey, get mad at your parents for teaching you bullshit. Get mad at them. Stop blaming other people for your fucking mishaps. It wasn't the white man that damaged you guys, bro. You guys damaged yourselves. Okay? You guys all did. Are you going to sit here and say that supposedly it was just because of them you had so much suffering? What are you talking about? We're reading that you people had slaves like no tomorrow. Slaves like no tomorrow, man. But that's not important. Apparently it's not. Okay, so now that we got through this here, I got some stuff to show you. Now that we went through this stuff here. Okay. I got something to show you guys. Because again, now that we're seeing clearly the difference between nations, their conduct, what they fall for, what they prefer or enjoy. Sometimes it's about that. You can tell a person by the things that they lust for. Right? You know what I'm saying? So before we move forward, let's touch on these things real quick. Because I was going to do a class on this particular topic, thou shalt not get pegged. Thou shalt not get pegged. Let me see if I could show you guys real quick. I just never got to the thumbnail. I didn't even save it. I'll bring it up another day. Right? We know about these particular things. So listen. The spirit of Canaan is very obvious now. Now you got to find out exactly what I mean by that. Okay? Because listen, Sodom and Gomorrah was predominantly about Canaanites doing their thing here. And it's no different till today. Let's go. We're almost done.
If you look at biology, it's your body. Like, you're getting pleasure from something that's happening in your body. So with anybody else, you could be like, hey, if two lesbians use a strap-on, then that must mean that they secretly want to be. Like creating a pleasure for that person that's already exists in their body. So if it's something that's inside my body, it's being stimulated, doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be with dude. It's just being I'm enjoying pleasure. The majority of people who experience that may be bisexual or gay, so people tie them all together, but it's not necessarily the case, in my opinion. Like,
really? Thou shalt not get pegged. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't make any sense. But let's keep going. Instead, here's who he really is. A man with no true remorse for what he did. No, here is who you really are. A man that wants me out of the way so you can be the main Israelite in the spotlight. We all know that's what's going on. Everybody sees it, Captain Azariah. You don't have to admit it, but everybody knows.
Gorilla wants her to get a Tinder account. Get the Tinder account to specifically target white men. This man said the white man is the devil, but he wants his wife to target white men and then get a shirt saying, I love white people. That brother has 3 charges on him that he has yet to respond to. They're going to see his gay friend instead of staying at the feast day, adultery for taking his closest friend's woman, and beating a woman. And on Clubhouse yesterday, that woman that got beat by him came on the app and said that he beat her.
Damn. Yeah, I want to be part of this whole thing. By all means, please be part of this whole thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? If these are your people, bro, then hey, they're your people. Hey, do your thing, bro. You want to be in that trope type chart and you really believe they're your gente, then they probably are. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
When you drink, it's the truth. Y'all know the drunk man know what's best. Whatever the drunk slang slogans is, but there's a lot going on with my life right now. And right now, I don't know if I want to deal with females or I want to dudes males, because booty is booty. All booty is the same. Y'all don't understand, a girl female booty and a guy female booty is the same to me, because booty is booty. If it's dark and you're in a room by yourself and you dive in that booty and you don't see that face of that booty, You wouldn't know if it's a girl or a boy. So booty is booty, and y'all know what they say.
Booty is booty. Booty. You know what I'm saying? Booty's booty, dog. I mean, I don't know about that, but you know, it's just that shit's funny to me, man. This is a total Canaan spirit. Listen to this real quick. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Hey, look at this. This is too funny, man. This is too funny, dude. All right, ready? Let's go, fam.
Is far from yours, cause when you're high, I'm low. If you could read my mind, then I'd be saving time telling you that I just live how I know.
What it's gonna be, players? Y'all gonna get down and lay down.
On King David, ain't nothing to play with. Straight from the lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bloodline sacred, ain't nothing to play with. Won't let it heat and breathe and come take it. Scared to say something to him, cause y'all fake it. So when I say what I say, you better not say on King David.
Understand what that means? Oh, here it goes. Here, like so. The story is that he did a bunch of shit he shouldn't have done. Like simple as that, man. That's some freak shit. You force your women to do that so then you don't feel like you did it yourself. That's some psychological problem right there you got going on there, buddy. Fake high priest gorilla orangutan forced his wife, a black woman, to commit adultery. That's fucked up. And have sex with white men while he watched and jerked off his little wee-wee. Okay, well, so hold on. This is not the funny part. Look at this. Oh, shit, my bad. Oh, pues. So then his wife got pregnant and his baby has a baby from a white boy. Okay, let's go. I wonder who picked who. Yeah, I know, man. I know they do. I know. It's got a lot of washing to do. It's got a lot of washing away to do. That's why we got to attack the root of these people. Before we attack each other, we got to attack the root of these people. That's the number one thing. Cut the root, and the head falls. Let's go.
Straight from the lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bloodline sacred, ain't nothing to play with. Won't let it heat and breathe and come take it. Scared to say something to him, cause y'all fake it. So when I say what I say, you better not say half white, half Arab, 100% gay ass subscriber. The only fans with the day pass. Elder told me to play that James Brown record. When he say that, it's time for the big payback. I'm throwing stones, they rocky. ASAP, dildos in your day bag. You straight trash, you wanna be a black man? Come out and say that. High priest, he imitate that. Vaseline and strap on, you bend over and take that. A pervert perverting the gospel for a paycheck. Arabic sodomite, what a shame that. Can't front, tell troubles, I would've came back. A-Rap, give me $20 right below a palm, pay that. Charge thousands for gasoline, he break that. Y'all say I'm hating, I'm just hating on the fact that you don't hate that. He didn't leave.
Hold on a second. What the fuck what is this? He's a life coach per month, fam. This includes 8 hours of personal counseling sessions per month, direct text access for the month, and 825 value for all the Hold on a second.
Fuck that puto. Fuck that puto.
Wow, this is getting even more interesting. Let's go.
Yeah, straight facts. Please explain that. One hand Bible, other hand tip cups. Preaching lies, making big bucks. Pass over or ass over, shaking big bucks. Whole camp making it rain up in the strip club. Crying loud and spat not. This is real love. I'd rather leave a gorilla with a pill bug than split his grill when I hit him with the steel sub.
Never skate, never skate, never skate.
For righteousness' sake, the spill blood. On King David, ain't nothing to play with. Straight from the lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bloodline sake.
Oh, that's straight AI. It's gotta be AI. I hope that's AI. That shit is crazy, family. I haven't seen it this far, man. My bad, family. My bad. You gotta see that shit.
Let it heat and breathe and come take it. Scared to say something to him, cause y'all fake it. So when I say what I say, you better not say shh.
Strap on, he bought the dildo. He went on Amazon, he bought all of it. It was like the conversation happened so fast, just like trying to make it sound like, well, it's not gay if a girl doing it. I wouldn't feel like I was gay if I let you do it. And I'm like, let's see if you would actually do it. And he actually did.
What was that experience like for you the first
It was
time?
uncomfortable and it was nasty, and I felt like I was more in shock that he was actually doing it. This is not your first time doing this. You've done this before. Part of me felt sorry for him because I saw how much of a length he was going through just to get what he wanted. You're actually trying to manipulate me into thinking that this is not something that you've done before, and you're going along with it just so you can get the end result.
Oh, to be honest, family, that's actually not funny, man. Damn. Wow. That's actually not funny. Cause that's like basically abuse, man. You're forcing someone to abuse you. That's like reverse, like sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she was married to him, and like, oh my dear, oh God, that's horrible though. Like shit, I can't even. Oh my God, what is wrong with people, family? These are your people, bro. This is your 12-tribe chart that you believe in, dummies.
This is what you like.
I guess the other question would be, why would you stay?
And go where? And go where? I got 3 kids that's under 10. He literally made me confined to being a stay-at-home wife. Anytime I did try to like go to school or get a job, it was a fight.
Told you, man. Like we just, we heard it from 3 different people. You know what I'm saying? 3 different people. I mean, I don't even know what to think. Shit. That's heavy duty, bro. That's heavy duty. I'm gonna show you guys some pages, and then we out. I shared with you guys several of these before regarding smallpox. I'm not gonna go through that now. Let me see if I can actually get. Oh, here it goes right here. That's right. Freaking demons, bro. These demons work hard to protect you guys, man. Hey, you know what? I'll give you all credit. You do know how to, bring them aboard. This is from Black Society in Spanish Florida. Introduction talks about this right here. Let's go here. The pattern of Black society in Florida evolved during Spain's first tenure in the Providence between 1565 and 1763, and was shaped by complex inter-ethnic relations and international politics. Like other areas in Spanish Caribbean, Florida suffered from early and dramatic Indian depopulation and shortage of European manpower, and this demographic imperative created a constant demand for Black labor, artisanal, and military skill. Why wouldn't it say that it was slavery? Damn, a bunch of people left, bro. That scared you guys, huh? That shit is wicked, man. I know. Shit is wicked as hell. It's all good. A lot of you guys are enemies anyways. Let me get ahead a little bit so we can hurry up to get through the time. Let's pay attention to this real quick. Okay? This is the same book, page 127. It says, within the black militia, the choice of marriage and baptismal sponsors seem to follow geographic lines, and this pattern may have held true in the larger Black population. The ex-slaves who availed themselves of religious sanctuaries often select as the religious sponsors from their place of origin. Juan Bautista Huetin, his wife Maria Rafaela, you see what I'm saying, family? They were the first people being named Spaniard, like Spaniards. They're the original Spaniards. That's why I keep saying Negro colonizers. They helped the white man. The Spaniards threw this shit the whole entire time. The ex-slaves who availed themselves, hold on a second, and their children were frequent choices as godparents for ex-slaves from South Carolina and Georgia, such as Esteban Chavez, Bacas Camal, Andres Camel, Cyrus Thompson, and all members of the black militia. Juan Bautista, Maria Rafaela were also baptismal sponsors for slaves from these areas, including the child of their own slaves. In 1796, members of this disbanded black auxiliary of Charles IV and to Santo Domingo were exiled from their families. What are we talking about here? The Dominican blacks quickly blended into San Augustine's free black community. See? Free blacks from North America. When Jose Rivas, a free mulatto shoemaker, requested permission to marry the black slave Maria de la Luz, he sought official approval. You see this? They had these names way before you had these names, fam. Trust and believe, when they call you a conquistador like the idiot that was here earlier, you don't even realize that he's calling himself that shit. Let's see if I find the right ones. Check this out. The marriages of Sanchez's daughters do not appear in the register of black marriages, and because of the women were apparently so light-skinned, had wet Spaniards enjoyed the recognition of their wealthy and influential father. If witnesses are to believe of the townspeople as well, they apparently were accepted as white. You see that? However, the subsequent baptism of the children who were even further whitened were recorded as black registers. See what I'm saying? What's going on here? Black slavers of free blacks of the masters of the South. Black slavers, free black slave masters of the South Carolinas between 1790, 1860. After the Civil War, free black masters no longer exploited the labor of slaves. You see this? After the Civil War, 1865. That's why I say, you guys had slaves since 1492 and fought for the Confederacy in 1865 to keep them. What suffering are we talking about? And matter of fact, aside from the suffering, right? You believe what you want to believe. But how can you claim that you're the Israelites of the Bible if you had the upper hand over a lot of people, including ourselves, including the white man? You had him as a slave. You own slaves. You own your own people. As a consequence of the war, the black slavers or Negro colonists or colonizers, Negro colonizers were required to free their slaves. If they wanted to use the service of workers, they had to make transition from slaves to employees. This transition was slow and difficult for the rural masters and marked the death of the plantation system. This is why both of you, white and black folks, Negro Nazis and white Nazis, you both fought with the Confederacy to keep slaves. These are facts. This isn't fiction. The collapse of the institution of slavery caused a decline in the amount of farm produce harvested by former slave masters. As the ex-slaves began to assert their freedom, few wanted to labor as they did before the war. As a result, farm production declined, as did the acquisition by former black masters. You see this? Furthermore, the problem of decreased production was exacerbated by the devastation of the war and by bad planting weather. Keep in mind that by 1865, the white and the black man had already taken our lands in 1848. That's why, don't believe the hype, que nomás eran gringos. The gringos never did nothing on their own, family, ever. Neither did the morenos either. They've always worked hand in hand together. So this whole nonsense of you know what I'm saying? That only the gringos go, nah, they both did. So the 12-tribe chart, you need to flush that shit down the toilet. You need to flush it, burn it. Matter of fact, burn your shirts that you bought from them. Burn everything that they gave to you. For this reason, over 75% of black slave owners who cultivated farmland in 1859 were not planting in 1869. In fact, not one of the 13 black masters who grew rice in 1859 planted the staple in 1869. See this? By and large, the war and emancipation of slaves caused the collapse of black slave-owning class of rice planters, as well as large cotton planters. See this? What are we going to say to this now? It didn't happen? That it was philanthropy? 188, Charleston City, James Johnson, a free black slave owner and a tailor, voices concern about the continued existence of free black communities in South Carolina. On April 20th, 1860, he wrote to Henry Ellison, a colored master and a cotton planter of Sumpson County, describing the atmosphere in Charleston City. James D. Johnson informed Henry Ellison that the agitation has been so great as to cause many to leave who were liable to the law of 1828. And the panic had reached those whom that law could not affect. Now, when Mexico allowed people to come to our land to get away from slavery, who was enslaving them, family? Negros and blancos. Who do you think stole Texas? Negros and blancos. According to Johnson, the Negro phobia of 1860 caused the Charleston officials who strenuously enforced both sections of the statute. In fact, the colored tailor said that there are cases in which persons who for 30 years have been free have to go back to bondage. Damn. And for the consolation of those who were exempted, we are told this is the beginning. The next session will wind up the affairs of every free colored man, and they will have to leave. This is in 1865. Why are we ignoring this stuff? Why should this be overlooked all of a sudden now? Because why? Because the narrative? Now we're forced to believe bullshit? Is this the way things are? Black slavers, free black slave masters in South Carolina. In fact, Duke de la Rochefoucauld, whatever, Lancourt, recollection was not far from the truth. The individual he referred to as Pendium was a real person, but actual name was James Pendarvis. Further, he was a free person of color and a slaver from St. Paul's Parish in Charleston District, as the Duke recalled. The Duke. Isn't Edom and Esau or Edom the Dukes? Like Decadum? Like Duke Edom? According to 1886 tax list of St. Paul Parish, he paid taxes on 113 slaves and the plantation, which contained, get this, 3,250 acres of land. This is a Negro colonizer, not a white man, not a white slaver, a black slaver who owned slaves. Now, let me remind you that in 1 acre, okay, it's 44,000 square feet. The average size of the house in America is about, let's say, 2,000 square feet, less or more. Some are 3,000 in California, some are like 1,200 in other states. But 1,200 square foot is like a 2-bedroom apartment. 1 acre is 44,000 square feet. Do you understand what that means? To imagine your house, now add an acre. This man had 3,250 acres. You multiply that by 44,000 square feet, and you can imagine how much square footage this guy owned. James Pendarvis was married to a white woman. I thought you guys couldn't marry white people. Catherine Rump Pendarvis, who was the daughter of Peter Rump, a white planter of St. Bartholomew's Parish in Charleston District. And their daughter, as the Duke said, married a white man. Actually, they had 2 daughters, both of whom married into the planter class. So one married a white guy, the other one married a black guy. Anne Pendarvis was wed to Samuel Perry, and Elizabeth Mary Pendarvis married to a planter named Thomas Smith. Yet a few aspects of his account were slightly overstated. For example, he overestimated the number of slaves owned by James Pendarvis. According to the first federal census, Pendarvis owned 123 slaves, not 200 slaves, as the Duke reported in his book. Furthermore, the federal enumerator did not refer to James Pendarvis as a free Negro, but as a white man. You see this? White standard was real. Let me read this to you real quick. A few more pages and that's it. A few more pages and that's it. I posted this a little bit back. Check this out. It says here, same book, free blacks became slave owners early in our history. Indeed, one of the first known legal sanctions of slavery, other than as punishment for crime, involved a black owner. 1654, remember this. 1654, Anthony Johnson and his wife Mary, in a court suit, gained the services of other blacks of their black servants, John Cassor, for life. Actually, slave owning by free Negroes was so common in the period of Commonwealth as to pass unnoticed without criticism by those who consciously recorded events of the time. You see this? This was like when the colonies are becoming together, like the 13 colonies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about the 13 colonies working together before they came 13. They were all doing it. The most remarkable property that possessed by the free Negroes was the right to acquire, own, and alienate slaves. Indeed, for more than 20 years, from the time when the free Negroes first appeared on the courts, there was no legal restriction upon the rights to own indentured white servants. You see this? IUIC, GMS, ISUPK. What the fuck's going on? Sakari, well, I don't even think Sakari's doing anything now. There were black slaveholders in Boston as early as 1724, in Connecticut by 1783, and in Alabama by 1797, among the earliest recorded in deed books of St. Augustine, Florida. It says here that there were, among the earliest records in the deed books of St. Augustine, Florida, a document recording the sale of a black slave to a free black by a free black. By 1790, 48 Maryland black owners possessed 143 slaves. Nate Butler, a free black who lived near Aberdeen in Hartford County, owned a small farm, regularly purchased and sold Negroes from the Southern trade. Some considered black slave owners hard taskmasters and claimed free black owners were, as usual thing, much more severe on their slaves than the white owners. What's going on here? Are we just supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Just like, así nomás, way, because you said so? Just because? I'm going to read this to you guys, and then that's it. This is the last thing I'll read today. Read this to you. This is, what page is this on? This is on page 223, okay? 223. Watch this. 223. Apocalypse Culture. Okay, interesting book. Edited by Adam Parfrey. You guys can check it out later, but I caught this. It's interesting. Watch this real quick. 223. Oh, hold on. 223. Okay. Check this out. You see this right here? Right? That's what they tell you, right? They put these pictures up, GMS, Sakari, IUIC, all of you guys put these funky ass dumb pictures and shit. Like supposedly this is he. Okay? You guys do that all the time. Look who's working with you. The Khazars. Well, of course you're going to believe what you're going to believe. They're feeding you all the stupidity. And yeah, you fall for it. Identification. Check this out. Page 223, and I'll read right here. I'll read right here. There is a power, Warren Steele, that is given to certain people to do things that is not of God Almighty. Many people, for example, believe Michael Jackson is the second Christ. What the hell are you talking about, for real? Hold on.
Okay, that's as far as it can go. The second Christ. People firewalk on this song, beat it, and the firewalkers exclaim the powers and the music. Now let's take a look at Captain EO, a new attraction of Disneyland, a special 3D musical made by Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas. Captain means someone in charge, and EO means light. So Michael Jackson plays Captain of the Light, and it is exactly what Lucifer was. Lucifer was known as a light bearer. Now check this out. I do believe Satan is going to appear as a black entity. You hear that? I do believe Satan is going to appear as a black entity. Holy shit.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Satan has a chosen people, and I believe it is the black race. Understand that I don't mean this in terms of prejudice to black folks or black people. Jesus was no respecter of people, but Satan is going to use the black race to deceive the rest of the world. So many people are starting to embrace the black movement. They are number one today in practically every field in entertainment. So many people can relate to the apartheid thing, the catalyst of which is hate, and Jews can relate to hatred, and homosexuals can relate to hatred. The Islamic people are waiting for the Messiah to come by the name of the Saint Isa, yada, yada, yada. You see, hold on, let me continue, which is nothing more than Arabic name for Jesus Christ. They will tell you Saint Isa was a black man. One sect of Japanese Buddhists are waiting for Saint Fudu, a black Messiah. In the Philippines, you've got the black Nazarene, and the Jesuits are mixed up in it too. Ignatius Loyola surrounded his life to the Black Virgin of Montserrat. I'm going to show you guys. Wherever the conquistadors went, they took with them, you see this? Wherever the conquistadors went, they took with them the Black Christ. And so most of the South American embraced the Black Madonna as being the Queen of Heaven, which the Bible says it is an abomination, a false religion. You see this? You see what it's actually saying here? Now, let me read this real quick. And then we'll just look at some pictures real quick. And you tell me what you think. They say they don't know these people. They always want to bring these books. Supposedly, look, ark. The black hunter, the round ark. Really? The Trinity. The Trinity. That's what you believe in, right? What else do they believe in? Now, if they supposedly are the Hebrews, why do they have crosses all over them? You see the cross here? Now, check this out. If these people are supposedly like the word of the Most High, right? Why are they doing this to people? Look, they're cutting them in half. What are you guys doing here? Look at this so-called Swati king. And look how they're hitting people. They're whacking them. Where are their fringes? Supposedly. They're not dressed like the scriptures say. Look at the fucking hat, like a druid. Look at how they're boiling people. Who was really doing this over their family? We're seeing pictures now. They used to tell us it was just gringos that were doing this shit. Now you're starting to see who came to the Americas first and why the destruction was so horrible. They still hate your ass. Look at this right here. Look at how they tortured people. These are people of dark skin torturing other people. These are not Hebrews. These are definitely Christmas Christians. Look at this, whipping them. Look at this, hanging them by the poles. Where are their fringes at? Look at this, hanging them by the waist. Remember they came here and hung us by 13 and burn us at the stake? Look at this right here. What are you talking about? Look at this right here. What are we doing here? If you guys said you didn't know them and they taught you the religion, how is it that you have pictures of you with the crosses on you? If you say these are you, because you use these pictures. These are crosses, family. I mean, are you guys ignoring this shit? Look how they worship. You need to worship the Most High. That's without a doubt. And look at this here. Look at these crosses. They're teaching Hebrews? No, they're not, fam. Look at this right here. Are you telling me that the white man touched Christianity? Hell no, man. If you guys look at the book, the early Libyan Christianity, you see that they had black popes in the 300 AD. What are we talking about, fam? Look at this. See the Black Madonna? The Virgin Mary? The Queen of Heaven? That's what they taught us. Sumarraga, she's the one that invented this bullshit here. You see what I mean? Here we bring out facts. Here we don't deal with fiction. I'm saying, yeah, we don't deal with fiction. Here we let you know who you guys are according to the book and according to history. And if it hurts your feelings, oh well. You sure as hell didn't say shit when you were talking about the blancos. Juan Garrido, el conquistador negro en las Antillas, Florida, Mexico, y California. You see this here, family? You see the white ones with shields? You see the black ones. And he's holding an amulet. You see what I'm talking about? That's our people, gente. That's our people. What are we doing? What's the deal here? One of the many conquistadors between 1503 and 1540. What are we doing? Are we going to just ignore this stuff? Not bring it up? Are we just going to move on? Or are you going to sit back now that because you're still in that 12-tribe chart, you're too afraid to speak up, or just get the fuck out of there? Let me end it with this video, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? This is in Spanish and we done. And again, I had to do this, fam, because you know what? It was so interesting, man. It's so interesting that I get in these conversations and they cannot prove a damn thing. And like the dude said, every time they start destroying your doctrine, you cut them off and then you boot them out. Let's listen and learn. Gente, shalom. Got a lot of love for you guys, man, and sisters as well. Stay in the fight. You know what I mean? Repent, reflect, and repeat. Repent, reflect, and repeat every single day. Read Exodus through Deuteronomy. Do not read Genesis just yet. Read Exodus to Deuteronomy. You'll get to see what our history is. Read it a few times. Trust and believe. And then once you want to read further into it, the time will give you that opportunity. I'm telling you right now. The milk is in those five books, but technically 4. All right? Y'all have a good night. Let's go. I hope everything's to your edification, to your understanding. I hope that you can bear with me in some of my little pauses and moments and shit. But I will be doing a live on Friday, and I will be tackling Deuteronomy 4. All right, fam? Y'all have a good night, man. Let's go.
Y entonces ocurre un fenómeno. Se descubre América. Los primeros esclavos que van al Nuevo Mundo son blancos. Sí, señor, blancos. Y los primeros negros que van al Nuevo Mundo son esos que tenían ya 50 años o más de presencia renovada.
Wow, so all hell.
Y que eran negros ladinos y preparados militarmente para la conquista. En la capitulación de Toledo, que firma Francisco Pizarro en Toledo con la reina Juana, en el 29º, otro sí, pide 50 esclavos, entre los cuales debe haber un tercio de hembras, y se aprobó. Esos eran negros ladinos. Y estos negros ladinos ayudaron a la conquista y recibieron los mismos honores o los mismos castigos cuando los indios vencieron que los españoles. Pero los primeros esclavos fueron blancos, porque la esclavitud no reconocía color hasta esa época. Y la prueba está que en el siglo XIII, cuando Alfonso X el Sabio redacta las 7 partidas, en una de ellas, tomando quizá algo del Código Justiniano, dice que no es de natura esclavizar a otro hombre. Entonces la esclavitud casi estaba abolida. Revive con el descubrimiento de América y sin noción de lo que iba a hacer esto se mandan blancos. Ahora, no vamos a decir que los blancos llegaron encadenados. Se mandaba a los blancos por castigos, se sacaban de las cárceles, porque estaban en la inopia y iban en una forma de contratos temporales que ellos mismos pudieran manumitirse. Y 1000 formas diferentes para la esclavitud.
A lot to think about, huh? A lot to think about, isn't it? Conquistadors, Afro-Hispanos. We can tackle that another time. Family, you guys have a good night, man. Stay strong, stay in the fight. Let's go.
Traigo a los gangsters más gangsters de la zona y vengo con la familia gang. ¿Cómo dice? Llaman al rey.
Traigo el mensaje puro y crudo para el momento. No palabras vanas que rompen los sentimientos. Lucharé y derribaré los muros del lamento. Pídeme pues te daré los sueños que están muertos. Nunca el demonio dio mensajes de amor, pero tampoco los dio el ángel que nos abandona. Quizás miremos diferente el reloj, pero tu cielo es el infierno donde el amor murió. Political violence, criminal silence, physical redemption hasta que acabe el baile. Typical style, musical fraile. Mucha es la promesa en la que se han llevado el aire. Love, 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 siente verdad como doy mi corazón. No more, no more, no more. It's a reggae cypher, feed the world. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Fue que me brotaron alas y ganas de volar. En las buenas mi terreno lleno, en las malas solar. Un muro que decorar, mis hermanos me sirven de guía, mi estrella polar. Guarda los hilos, me duele hasta respirar. Solo quiero ver verdad. Sigo buscándome lejos de lo que piensas. Más fácil de lo que crees, el esfuerzo trae recompensas. Vale la experiencia si es intensa. No tires de la cuerda si está tensa. Miraban al ocaso con tristeza. Las estrellas devolvían con grandeza su mirar. Nos vimos floreciendo en la maleza. La belleza de las piezas y comienzan a encajar.
Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it?
Es de reventar el beat.
Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
51, 52, con un micro de bambú, más vuelta que Passepartout. Me siento en la old school. It's magnetic kung fu, it's a reggae magnatur. Por las almas sonrientes que acompañan a Zazú. En bambalinas y balú, son rimas de menú, no salidas de Benur, pero calidad y del sur. Homie, always lonely, but I feeling like a gangsta. 52, 53, a mí sí me ves venir, por eso me llaman King, ese fue mi devenir. De marchar o seguir, nunca tuve que elegir, la music me eligió a mí, no tengo nada más que decir. Saifa, Puniga, Loba, Grimble, Fire, Killerman, Smoker, Chusta, Feel Light, Rasta, Child Metal, Kimanes, Original Reggae, Saifa again.
Interna en la villa del pingüino, entre los Kalin en la antena y los que son
encuentran dormidos zarandeas tus emociones cual barril de vino, cosas feas quizás en tus ideas, pero aquí no, yo no atino, disparo sin mirar a todo aquel vampiro que el diente quiera hincarme, bro. Si lo digo, no es para pensar, sino para aclarar lo que de siempre estás pensando. Acaba él, tan magnífico, imposible de torcer, metal system, my friend, yo. Reggae warriors again, making connection after connection, my new world, creating the freedom from them, me more. Nanny boy, represent this game. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Flow the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Flow the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
No hace falta presentación si existe nivel. Sobreviviendo en Babilonia escribí al papel mis problemas cuando al final pude entender que para ser feliz solo tienes que querer. Que solamente hay una vida y es para vivir. Busca siempre una alternativa para seguir. No dejes nunca que te digan que no es así. Y prende un poco de sativa para estar chill. Ey, superando ansiedades con el humo de cancha. Manchas de un pasado trágico en la cancha. Seguimos siendo fuertes, su mierda no me engancha. Mientras otros esperando a que lleguen en lancha. No matter where you come, no matter where you come from. Solo importa que prestes atención a este sound. Desde the original, Killer Man al mando. Oh na na na.
Mira, soy un warrior, sonido legendario. Disfruto cada segundo cuando me subo al escenario. Tengo fuego en los labios, sigo cual mercenario. Pasos de gigante y cora revolucionario. Siento que es necesario, suena el reggae en los barrios, para que cale el mensaje y para salvar a los más sabios. Entre en mi imaginario, quemo cheques bancarios. Si vienes con la mala vibra, mejor bro, cambia tu itinerario. Ya, 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 ya. Cuando ruge el león suena la música real. Venimos con el ya, 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 ya. Sonido de guión es el sonido original. Ya, 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 ya. Reggae de corazón es el que se hace en unidad. Ya, 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 ya.
What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Flow the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Flow the jungle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.